Hello and welcome to the United Stand. I hope you're all doing very well this Tuesday evening of the CARABAO Cup. We're all very excited. Of course, there's no sarcasm in that at all. Important game for Manchester United, as we know. Look, we may not take the League Cup that seriously. I didn't take it seriously last year and we won it. I mean, I think it's a bit like, you know, a nice clean pair of pants on a Monday morning. You know, it's not essential, but it's nice to win. And Mourinho likes to win a cup. The team news is going to come in. Let's hold judgment till the team news comes in. But what I would say about this game is that I personally feel that this is, you know, I look at people like Matic and Valencia especially, even Lukaku. Not the game to play them tonight, Jose. Not the game. They've been playing a lot of football. They're very important players. We've got a lot of important players out injured at the moment. And the League Cup should be low priority when we've already got Champions League football. And the league, we're still second in the league. So tonight, I'm going to mention three names. And I guarantee two or three of them don't even start. Luke Shaw, Swansea and Dimitri Mitchell. I would like to see them playing for Manchester United because I think they're good enough, and I think this is exactly the sort of game we should see them in. I don't want to see a positive performance before Spurs on Saturday with all our first team players playing. I think that's a waste of time. I think let's give some of the fringe, let's get some excitement going around the club, and we will see that. We will see that with the right sort of players. Let's talk of Phil Jones playing, which for me would just be absolutely not good, is what I would say, because Phil Jones obviously went off at the weekend. And he needs to get fit. Okay, got Marcus coming on in a little bit, which is great. So the team news isn't actually in yet. As soon as it's in, I'll let you know. Man like Tom says Swansea starts, not Mitchell or Shaw. McTominay starts. I mean, well, you know, let's. In fact, he's not kicked a ball for United yet. Let's give him a chance. Let's see how good he really is. But Swansea starting is a good thing. Shaw doesn't start is very, very frustrating. Just getting a confirmation on that because. I just don't get it. I just don't get how Luke Shaw can play, you know, be fit for 5 weeks, and we get a Europa. You know, he's not played in 5 weeks really. You've got the perfect game to play him in, and he's on the bloody bench. I mean, just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. I think it is personal. Yes, I do. I agree with those comments. If you can't play Luke Shaw in a midweek League Cup nothing game, I don't know. But the exciting thing is Swansea does start, McTominay does start, Martial starts, Rashford starts, Lingard starts, Herrera starts. It's an exciting team. Let me go through it. Romero in goal, we expected that. Darmian, right back. Lindelof, yes, definitely. I think Lindelof will turn it round at United. I know he was awful on Saturday, but I do think he'll turn it round. Chris Smalling as captain, Daley Blind as a left back. It's quite a decent back for that. Swansea, Herrera, McTominay. I think Swansea is going to be playing in the midfield unless we're playing a back five. So that's interesting because I wondered why we've not been using Swansea more. I think he's a really good player. Herrera needs games. I agree with that. Lingard needs games. I agree with that. Playing him out on the right's a good idea. McTominay, let's see what you've got of me. And Martial will play on the left with Rashford up front, which is good. Rashford up front is where Rashford needs to play. I don't like Rashford on the wing. Subs, we've got Pereira, Joelov, who's on the bench as the goalkeeper, Phil Jones, Luke Shaw, Matic, Mata, Mkhitaryan, Lukaku. So a very strong bench from United if they need to use it, which is obviously, hopefully we won't need to use it because hopefully we will be able to beat these quite comfortably. But the big news is that Luke Shaw doesn't start. The big news is, like Tom555J says, there's a positive that our man Swansea starts, which does make me very, very happy, but not so positive around the fact that Luke Shaw doesn't start. I would like to have seen Luke Shaw starting, if I'm totally honest. So a little bit of a shame, but it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. You know, you crack on and you do it. Kieran Byrne. You cheeky beggar. Look at Vidic, he was terrible, but then he was really good, says Alex Plays. Yeah, exactly. I said that on the Twitter today, that you know, Vidic was very poor when he started, as was Evra. They were signed at the same time, and both turned it around. I mean, to be honest, should Lindelof have been thrown into that situation at the weekend? I'm not so sure that he should have done, but it's definitely right that he plays today. The one thing that Lindelof's got in his armour is that he is a signing of Jose Mourinho. And Jose Mourinho's got a big reputation and a big ego. And he will not want to be... he won't want Lindelof to be a flop. He'll want it to work. And hopefully that means it will work. I'm just typing out the team for you now, for those who are asking. So, I nearly said De Gea. It ain't De Gea. Come on, don't mess about. Oh. Smalling is captain. Daley Blind, Swansea. Could be a back five, you're right, it could be a back five, but we think it might be the same team we've been playing, which is a bit of a shame really, because for all this, we can play multiple formations, all we've pretty much done in the last few games is play this 4-2-3-1. And I'd like to see us go back to trying some of the different formations, because they've worked for us, I think. In my humble opinion. Jones, Shaw, Matic, Mata, Lukaku, Mkhitaryan on the bench. Surprised he's not starting actually, Mkhitaryan. That's a bit worrying for the Spurs game that Mkhitaryan's not starting. Really don't want him to see him starting against Spurs, to be honest. Mohammed says, I deserve the chance in the midfield more than Scott and McTominay. I am going to have a look at the Swansea lineup for what it's worth. Don't really know a lot about Swansea, if I'm totally honest. But I should be able to tell you. Doesn't look like it's their first team, I don't think. Nordvelt, Rangel, captain. Van der Horn, Mawson, Olsen, Key, Misa, Klukas, Routledge, Ayew, McBurney. Doesn't look like it's their strongest team because Tammy Abraham's on the bench, Fair's on the bench. Yeah, that's not Swansea's strongest team either. So, yeah, I think we've probably gone a little bit too strong. I said it before the team news came in. I would have liked to have seen Mitchell on the bench as well. Would like to have seen him starting really. Nicholas Anderson's made a contribution. Don't buy any of this. It's personal stuff against Shaw. Mourinho is far from the only manager to say this about Shaw for both club and country. Not Mourinho's fault. Shaw isn't starting. It's Luke Shaw's. Nicholas Anderson, fair play. That's your opinion. That's your opinion. I just think Luke Shaw should be starting a game like this. I don't think there's any excuses for it, and I don't blame Luke Shaw, to be honest. I think Mourinho is playing a silly game really, because whatever you think about Luke Shaw, he is better than Daley Blind, Darmian and Ashley Young, and he should be getting game time. He's given him a new contract in the summer. If it was all about attitude, then Mourinho wouldn't have done that. I just think Mourinho has a problem with Luke Shaw, and I don't think he is going to use him. Shells H2 says Mitchell played last night. Look, somebody just said Luke Shaw will get a second half. Look, he's not just come back from injury. He got a half of football against Burton nearly 5 weeks ago. He got the second half against Burton nearly 5 weeks ago. He's been training for 5 weeks. He doesn't need a half of football. He needs a game of football. That's what he needs. Where's Pereira? He's in Valencia, unless you're talking about the keeper who's on the bench. Swansea aren't starting Narsing. Yeah, it's a second string Swansea side as well. Resting Matic, Lukaku is a positive, and playing Swansea is good. Shaka Phillips. There are positives, yeah. I mean, spot on. Valencia and Ashley Young not even in the squad. Lukaku on the bench, Matic on the bench, very, very good. I'm quite happy that Lingard's playing as well. Hopefully Lingard will be playing as... Well, actually, I've just had a thought. Here, let me throw this out. Okay, so we assume it's going to be a 4-2-3-1 with obviously Romero in goal, right back Darmian, centre backs of Lindelof and Smalling, Blind at left back, and then a midfield three of McTominay, Twansibi, Herrera, Lingard on the right, Martial on the left, Rashford up front. I've just dropped it in my head, and I think it's probably more likely, and I hope it's going to happen. I think actually we might be playing a 3-5-2 with Romero in goal, Darmian and Blind as the wing backs. Twansebe, Lindelof and Smalling as a back 3. McTominay and Herrera as a midfield 2. Lingard as a 10 and Martial and Rashford up front. I'd like to see that. Ben Jeffy says we're going to win. I've got no doubts about that happening at all, Ben. Mourinho takes the League Cup seriously. Mourinho wants to win the League Cup, so he will play him. He will play a strong team. I'm actually excited to see McTominay play because I don't think he's very good. So, you know, I'm interested to see how good he really is. I don't rate him at all. I don't think he's a very good player, but hopefully he will prove us wrong. Hopefully he will. Mohammed says that Ryan Giggs said that Lindelof could be the next Vidic. He just needs time. Yeah, look, I'm old enough to remember Vidic's first few games, as I'm sure some of you are, and it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. And you know, I remember some people in August calling Lindelof a flop. Some of them quite significant top reds, and I won't have it. I'm not going to call him a flop until at least next summer. No way. We need a confidence boost in a bad way, says Daniel Helsey. Massive game against Spurs at the weekend. Totally agree about that. I don't get to watch it in my country, says Shahid. Don't worry, we'll keep you up to date. Good comment here about James Wilson. He is back. Dan Butterworth, watch Wilson for reserves and forgot how good he is. Movement, speed, finishing, and he's got good skills. Remember, he is in the Champions League squad as well. It's a shame he's not part of this squad, really. Mark, KM17 says he'd like to see Lukaku get some game time to score and get some confidence. Kane v Lukaku at the weekend as well. Massive, really. Stephen Haydock says Martial and Rashford should tear things up. Remember, in the last round of the League Cup, although it was Burton, Martial was on another planet. He was world class, so hopefully we can see that again. Andy Bryant says, breaking news, Manchester United are sounding out Marco Reus. I saw that, and I saw Arsenal were as well. I really like Marco Reus, but he is injury prone. And he is currently injured till January. Score prediction for the game, says Chad. I'm going to go with... Venom Plays said as well. I'm going to go with United to win 3-1. I think it looks like a decent team. Lingard, Rashford and Martial are quick. I think the only real weakness is McTominay. Let's see how he goes. Big opportunity for that. Mourinho likes him. He's given him a new contract. And Mourinho very rarely gets it wrong. So, as LA Brit says, why all the McTominay hate? Give the guy a chance. He's a United player, very young. Get behind him. Yeah, I am... No. Let's chill it back. Let's take it back a few steps. I'm not saying McTominay, I want him to fail. I'm not saying McTominay's, I don't want him to do well. What I'm saying is, we're not all blind. We've all had a bit of experience of McTominay. Well, some of us won't have had. And he's not a standout player from the youth setup. What is standout about him is he's 6'4", and we know Mourinho loves big lumps of players. And I hope tonight that he shows something beyond that. What I'm saying is, what I've seen of McTominay, and that's US tour, a few youth games, he just looks very slow, not very good on the ball. But tall, and I'm hoping that we're going to see something else that has persuaded Mourinho to, sort of big him up as his next youth player, because I think we've got far better than that. But we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to seeing that. It's going to be him and Twansebe are the two to watch. Aidan Dubfin says McTominay will get a goal. Well, he certainly has got that aerial threat. Awful lineup, says Daniel Kremming Wrestling. Why is Darmian playing? He's useless, Tommy Herald. Look, I'm not shocked that Darmian's playing. I don't necessarily disagree with you about Darmian. I would rather we'd moved him on in the summer. I think, I think he's an okay player. But it's part of the problem with Manchester United. We've got too many okay players. But when it comes to a League Cup game like this, not a priority game, not a Premier League game, then you're not going to play Valencia and Young, which is a positive. Darmian's a senior squad member. Of course Darmian's going to play. If Darmian wasn't playing tonight, I think there'd be something wrong. I don't necessarily agree with it, but there you go. TC Singh says, is Twansebe playing at right back? We'll see. We are 50 minutes away from kickoff. EU says 4-0 to Swansea. No Luke Shaw again. Disappointed, says Ming Hui. Yes, very disappointed about no Luke Shaw. I just don't get it at this stage. He's been training for 5 weeks. He played half a game against Burton 5 weeks ago. He should be playing 90 minutes by now. Cole Ford says Lindelof looks too weak. He does. He looks weak. He looks lacking of confidence. But I'm glad he's playing tonight because he needs more games. And yeah, he had a stinker at the weekend, but he needs, you know, what do you want him, just to be totally dropped and never played again? It's the perfect game for him to play. Phil Jones is on the bench, says TC Singh again. Well, you know, shame he couldn't do the 90 minutes at the weekend then. Kreshnik says evening. Oh, here's a funny one. Max DeLuca says Rashford isn't good enough. I don't see why he's a starter. His end product is useless. Martial is far better. I think we should look for players in January instead of Rashford. Well, Rashford plays a lot of time on the wing. I've moaned about it for a long time. He's not a winger. Marcus Rashford is a forward. And I'm glad that Rashford's playing in his position tonight, because I think we'll see the real Marcus Rashford. So I'm a big fan of Rashford, to be honest. I hope he does it. I hope he plays well. I do. I don't think it's the end of Luke Shaw, but in a way, probably it is, if you know what I mean. It's I don't know. It's just a weird one. He just doesn't seem to be able to get past this issue with Mourinho, and it's been going on for a long time. I mean, I remember it was about a year ago that we played Watford, and he came out and absolutely battered Luke Shaw, even though it was the worst game I've ever seen Wayne Rooney play for Manchester United. He went after Luke Shaw, and Luke Shaw is on Mourinho's list of a player that he likes to have a pop at. But I don't know. Luke Shaw's a good player. He's stayed fit for 5 weeks. Let's get him in the first team. I need him to play. We need him to play. Would you win the Premier League and the FA Cup, or the Champions League and the League Cup? Says Raj. I take the Premier League every day of the week. And Venom Plays says he's a big fan of Twansibi. That's the most exciting selection for me tonight, is that Twansibi plays. I don't know what Mourinho's been doing with Twansibi, really, if I'm totally honest. He played him in the last 3 or 4 games of the season last year. Played him away to Spurs and Arsenal. And then this year, he's just ignored him. And Twansibi's way better. I tell you what, if you want to talk about McTominay, Twansibi is infinitely better than McTominay. But Mourinho seems to want to use McTominay more. Maybe because he's 3 or 4 inches taller. Apparently, Martial got hammered by Mourinho at the weekend, says Abdullah. Well, that's just hypocritical from Mourinho, if I'm totally honest. I watched that game with many of you at the weekend, and Martial gets a lot of stick for not being committed and not trying. And then against Huddersfield in the first 20 minutes, he was nearly getting sent off. He was so aggressive and trying. And so he's damned if he does, and he's damned if he doesn't. I think, you know, Martial was trying too hard at the weekend. You know, he could have got sent off. But I don't know. Weird one. I'm glad he's starting tonight, and I hope he rams that criticism right down Mourinho's mouth, to be honest. Zartaj on that subject says, Mark, please answer my question. Why will Mourinho not like Martial if he's starting him 2 games in a row? Also, I think Mourinho has a pop at Martial as he likes him a lot. Well, some interesting reverse psychology sort of tactic. It wouldn't be the first time that's been done. Shaw does look like he's lost it, to be fair. Anytime I've seen him over the past year, he looks like his brain is 10 seconds behind the rest of him, since David Logan. Ian Turlington says, is Luke Shaw starting? No, he's on the bench. The team's going on the bottom of the screen for you now, Ian. It's Romero in goal, Darmian Lindelof, Smalling, Blind, Twansibi, Herrera, and McTominay, Lingard, Martial, Rashford. On the bench, Lukaku and Matic and Mata and Mkhitaryan and Luke Shaw, Phil Jones and Pereira. Anand 2 says people don't value Rashford because he came free. Look, I've been quite consistent about this for about 18 months now. My 2 favourite players at United are Rashford and Martial, because they epitomise what United's all about. Rashford even more so because he's from the youth setup. Oh, I've spelt it wrong. Thanks, everybody. I spelt the cup wrong. It's not CARABAO, it's CARABAO. I don't know. I've never heard of it in my bloody life, to be honest. It's a drink, isn't it? Is it one of them energy drinks that people drink? I don't think anybody's been horrible enough to say it yet, but you might notice my speech is a bit slurred tonight, and I'm a bit slower because again I've got really bad toothache, so it is going to cause me problems. But I was going to watch the match anyway, so I'm not going to not do a watch along with you. Martial is world class, says Carl Lee. Don't forget to drop a like on the video. We like to hit 1,000 likes before kickoff. It didn't work at the weekend, but we need to get that train rolling again. And if you are new to the United Stand, make sure you subscribe through the hologram in the bottom right hand corner and get involved with what is a fantastic community. In fact, if you did not see Skype Goldbridge last night, I think the community is pretty happy to crown that as the best Skype show we've ever had. Not because there was any controversy or anything like that. I think the 4 or 5 callers we had on were just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So that's the sort of stuff we do on the United Stand. Skype in at 8 o'clock on a Monday night. You lot Skype in. Sunday night live at 8 o'clock. We're live every night at 8 o'clock effectively. Live for every Manchester United game an hour before, right the way through till full time. Match reactions, red rumours, transfers, loads going on. So if you are new, click the subscribe button, click the bell, and get involved with the best United fan community anywhere, I would say now. Used to be on YouTube. I'm promoting us. I think it is a fantastic community that we have, and all of that is down to you lot. Typical Habib Gaming says he's back. And hey Mark, if you could sign any one player bar Messi and Ronaldo, who would you sign? Says Bean Hernandez. I think at this point I'd probably sign someone like Nainggolan, because I just think he's the closest thing to Roy Keane in world football, and United need a leader. I mean, the captaincy is just a farce. I mean, how you can have a captain who can't speak English is ridiculous. And I think Chris Smalling's very shy on the pitch. He's our captain tonight. I just love to have as a leader, and you know, it surprises me really that it's such a shame Schweinsteiger didn't work out, because he's one of the best leaders in world football. I just think it was a little bit too late in his career, but yeah, he's good, and we need a leader, so I'd go for somebody like that. Apparently Jorty's had to walk home. Mark is the most loyal YouTuber when it comes to United content. Thank you, Ananto. Mark, why don't you play for Manchester United? You'd become a legend. Oh dear. Mark, can I get a shout out? I'm watching from Trinidad. I'd shout you out if I knew how to read that icon. I agree, Mark. Nainggolan would be class, says Richard Fidelgo. Kieran Byrne, it's not a myth about Valencia. He can speak a little bit of English, but not fluent. He's not fluent in English at all. It's not a myth. Do your homework. Did you see Neymar's red card? No, I didn't. Cole Petterson says Nainggolan would be perfect at United. Do you see Twansibi as a future captain? Says Kunnell. Well, let's see tonight. And Dalraj says he's very unhappy with Mourinho. He's swearing, saying, Mourinho, you're never going to win the league. We'll see. We'll see. My thoughts on the League Cup. Look, if Manchester, you know, I was getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, like some of you will be around the world now, to watch Manchester United play. So that was in the summer, obviously, for the US tour. So I was getting up for meaningless friendlies, apparently, to watch the club I support. So I'm not going to not watch United play tonight in the League Cup, but it's not high on my priority. Trying to figure out which tooth in there. It's not high on my priority, but the positive about it is that we do get to see Twansibi and McTominay play. And, you know, I think for Twansibi, I'm hoping it's just an affirmation of what a good player he is. For McTominay, I'm hoping that he's just going to ram it down my throat and show us something that Mourinho's obviously seen. Painkiller, nothing else. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think that's the positive about the League Cup. And we have got 2 youth players I know Rashford's a youth player, but you know what I mean. 2 players who've not been part of the first team setup, so it is exciting. At least we've got 2. And Joel Williams, howdy from no, it's good day. Hello from Australia, good day, Joel. So yeah, I'm not one of those dissers of the League Cup. I mean, I hope we get through to the next round and we get another tie at Old Trafford against the side that's not so good, that we can play some of our youth again, because that's what this tournament's all about for me. I think for Mourinho, it's a little bit more than that. I think Mourinho takes it very seriously, because ultimately he sees it as a sort of if we came fourth, we got knocked out of the Champions League, and we got knocked out of the FA Cup, I think Mourinho would call it a good season if we won the League Cup. I personally wouldn't. We won it last year. It was nice to win it, but I don't think the League Cup's really that relevant now. It's a trophy, but I'm not a big fan of the League Cup, to be honest. I think it probably needs to get binned off at some point, but it isn't at the moment, and it's an opportunity for some people to try and show some form to get them in the first team. And Anthony Martial's a big one in that for me. Absolutely, Anthony Martial. Afaf is not happy that Luke Shaw's not playing. Manan says it's 11:45 in India, so it's a late night. I think it might be a 3-5-2. If you need a painkiller, get 2 pints down you. It's been proven 2 pints is a better painkiller than tablets, says ASMAR. Is Blind good enough for United, says Polar Juggler. I think Blind's better than Darmian, and Darmian's starting. Andrew Ellis, why isn't Mitchell not playing or on the bench? I don't know. I thought Mitchell played, Many of us said it was a false dawn when we played Crystal Palace the last game of the season last year, and we had all those young players playing, and it was like, oh yeah, this is brilliant. Not really seen any of them. Some of them have been sold. Mitchell's a good player. I don't know why he doesn't get involved in the first team. I didn't use him in the US tour either. But I've got to defend Jose again and say that when we did get him as manager, I did say, look, I want Mourinho. I'm excited about Mourinho, but what we sort of need to park this, he's going to use the youth. I mean, Van Gaal was an awful manager, but he probably would have had 4 or 5 youth players playing today. So it's that balance, isn't it? Van Gaal was an awful manager, but he played the youth. Van Gaal was the man who brought Rashford and Fosu Mensah into the team. Mourinho isn't going to use a lot of the youth because he prefers, his career shows you that if he's got a choice between a really talented 20-year-old and an experienced declining 31-year-old, he'll go with that experienced player. That's what Mourinho's done all his life, and he will continue to do it. Do you think Pereira will come on at half-time for Romero, says William Sharp? Don't know. I don't know. Do you know when Pogba's coming back, says Venom Plays. Pogba and Rojo on a site I saw on November the 5th, and Fellaini is this weekend. I don't know. That doesn't seem right to me on Rojo, and I don't know necessarily that it seems right in relation to Fellaini. Forest Dweller says Phil Jones is on the bench, let the man heal. Cool Guy says Van Gaal isn't a terrible manager. Where you been for the last 3 years, mate? He's total shit. You made me swear there. He is absolute crap. And where were you when he was managing Manchester United then? You've been in the cave with Liverpool fans singing 5 times around the campfire. Bloody hell. Come on. If you're going to put a comment up, at least think it through. Obnoxious Otter is right. Van Gaal played the youth because everyone else was injured. Brilliant comment. I always say that. Van Gaal tries to take credit for Rashford, and the reality is he was playing Will Keane ahead of Marcus Rashford. There was nobody else left. That's why Rashford played. He stumbled upon Rashford. It was nothing to do with nurturing or anything like that. There was nobody else left. Carl Williams, you're the second person today to say to me clove oil. What's wrong with Bailey Marks, is Joey Alley. Well, I think he was training at Carrington today, so he should be back for the game tomorrow on Saturday. Yash, no, we won't show you the match here. It's we are Manchester United's biggest independent fan channel. We're not going to go and do something stupid like beam an illegal stream on the channel and get shut down for copyright. We don't do that. It's a watch along. It's basically, we'll start the timer, we'll put the score up, and everyone watches the game together, and that's what a watch along is. So you'll be able to watch the game with 1,000 or so United fans worldwide, of course. Nathan's asking the same question: when will Pogba be back? There's talk of him being back for the Chelsea game, but I don't know. Is he still in? If he's still in America, he's going to have to get his flight sorted soon. Raj says he'd play Martial at number 10 for Spurs. 5-1 to United, says MCR Reed. Jack Pace says his mum's just said go do your homework, and he said no, Mark's on. And then his mum said okay, he's amazing, much love from Malta. Oh, that's nice. And say hello to your mum. Mark, I personally prefer Blind and Young than Shaw because Shaw didn't show anything this season, says Mateus. He's only played 45 minutes, mate. Give him a chance. Give him a chance. Thanks for that, Tubes. I don't know how that word got on. I thought it was a banned word, but it seems to have slipped through. Pankaj says the match isn't being broadcast in India. Okay, well, it's you've got the United stand for that, haven't you? When is Ibra back? Oh, they said the middle of December for Ibra, as left as Zlatan. We need a real confidence booster tonight, says Junior Tapo. Do you think Lindelof should be given another chance? Yes, he's playing tonight, so I think that's 100% the right thing to do. Stanley says if you're a newcomer, make sure you subscribe to United Stand and get involved with the community. Yep, couldn't put it better myself. Hi Mark, just got back from the gym. Hope you well and United can grab a win tonight. I'm struggling tonight. Everyday Gamer 305. The sooner Marcus joins me, the better, and starts sharing the load with my mouth because I have got really bad toothache again. The same problem as a few weeks ago. I should have just took it. I should have had it out. I can't do it now for a few days because I'm on the antibiotics to get the inflammation down. But hopefully it will come down. But obviously talking really, really hurts. So Marcus needs to get on and help me. Thoughts on Jones' quick recovery? Typical, typical. But in fairness to Phil Jones, he needs to do that because we were moaning about him at the end of the game at the weekend. And, Phil Jones is a bit like taxes, isn't he? And death. They're inevitable that Phil Jones will get an injury. But the fact that he's back is a good thing. And it helps us for the weekend against Spurs, doesn't it? Because if we could get Bay back as well, Jones and Bay against Kane is probably better than Smalling and Lindelof. Mateus Rutala says, Mark, do you believe James Wilson will play for the first team this season? It's not inconceivable. It's not inconceivable that he might get a bit of game time before Zlatan gets back, if he can. Tonight would have been good for him, though. I don't think Wilson will have a future at United, if I'm totally honest. How's the weather in Birmingham, says Chimney. It's dark. It's the winter now. Well, it's autumn, isn't it? It's dark. Average, I would say. About 15 degrees. Keel Patel says 4-0 to United. What you think, Mark? Yep. That's good to me. I went 3-1. Barney, toothache is it's absolutely killing me. It really is. But the thing is, it's like once Marcus is on, we'll just get him talking a lot and I'll do a lot of nodding. But I would watch the game anyway. So, people saying, oh, don't do a watch along, I would do it anyway. Frederick, how much do you drink on the weekends? Not a lot. I don't drink that much, really. We're not going to win today, says Joseph. Yeah, no one's really considered that, but it is Swansea's second team as well. A Decalo says, hi, great show last night. It was a fantastic Skype show last night. It really was. Mark, we need a response from the team, says Warren Storr. Good that Herrera's playing. Good point, Warren. It is a good point that it's a good thing that Herrera's playing, because I think this sort of game is, Herrera needs to play well tonight. Martial needs to play well tonight, because they got a lot of stick, didn't they, at the weekend? So they do need to turn up and, put on a show, as they say. Kay Mullen says that Herrera's started 7 games in a row. Yeah, 7 games in a row, and it's quite interesting that he started 7 games in a row. And apart from Moscow away, you don't really feel that he's done enough, do you? Hopefully we'll see a good performance from him tonight. Here he comes, my night nurse. It's Mad Marcus, can you hear me?
Hiya, mate, you alright?
Yeah, apart from the crippling, agonising tooth pain, yeah, I'm alright, you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
Thoughts on the team? Have you seen it?
I'm looking forward to seeing Swansea. I think that's a good move. I'm going to presume he's playing as a CDM.
Well, we think so, but it could be a 3-5-2 as well. We'll see. It's one of them where we'll have to wait till kick-off, I think.
Well, if it's a 3-5-2 with Martial and Rashford up top, give him a bit of praise for that. But Darmian at right back, Lindelof after the performance against in the last game against Huddersfield, not too sure. But Daley Blind, I'm disappointed as well with Luke Shaw only being on the bench. I thought he would have started this one, mate. He's been fit for 5-6 weeks now.
Yeah.
So apart from that, I think it's a good lineup for a cup competition. Matic gets some rest as well, which is a plus.
Yes. Well, Matic definitely needed a rest, and I suppose you've got your Fellaini replacement, McTominay. He's already dividing opinion. So another 6'4" lump that you can get behind, because you like the big ones, don't you?
Oh, I like the big ones.
Boys.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see how he handles playing in an actual first team game now for the full 90 minutes instead of just being a bit part for the last 5 or 10. So, the pressure's on him to perform and see if he can come in and do a job while we've got so many injuries in the midfield.
So I'm getting a bit of I like it, but I'm getting a few home remedies for the tooth. Like Cranium1210 says, Mark, coconut oil for the tooth. Rub it on the tooth. It's unreal. Yeah, I'll just pop out in the garden here in the Midlands, and I'll get a couple of coconuts off the tree, and I'll rub a bit of oil in my tooth. I ain't going to have any coconut oil, mate. I'm being sarcastic. Louise O'Donoghue says, I'm not happy with the team. I would not have played Lingard, Darmian or Blind, but just my opinion.
Well, I mean, going by that, that's a good shout and a good comment. But what are the alternatives? That's what I would look at. What would be the alternatives to? I mean, Mkhitaryan's not been in the greatest of form either. So, there's not really many options, is there, with Carrick, Fellaini, and Pogba out at the minute? Yeah,
there isn't. I mean, it's a bit of a shame. I mean, Fosu Mensah's apparently playing for Palace tonight, but Fosu Mensah, Pereira, this would be the perfect game for them to play. I mean, McTominay has definitely benefited from those two players being out on loan, and I'm not too sure whether those two players are really benefiting from being on loan. That's another argument, but McTominay is certainly benefiting. Whiskey is a great
pain relief.
But when you're on antibiotics, ibuprofen and paracetamol, I probably shouldn't have any alcohol. Mark Gowans has spent £5 to do a super chat to tell me to go and chew on an onion. So either he thinks it's £5 well worth to imagine the pain that will put me in, or it's a really good remedy. I don't know. The jury's out. I don't know. Thanks for the contribution. You can contribute through the super chat as always, and we'll always read it out for you. Shaw and Mata in the number 10 role, says Andrew Ellis.
Shaw and Mata?
I don't think Luke Shaw can play number 10, mate.
No. I mean, that's a good point as well. Juan Mata. Possibly, we know Lingard didn't do very well as a number 10 against Huddersfield. It was pretty much pointless, I think. So Mato could have quite easily came into the squad tonight to provide that bit of that creativity that I think we're going to lack, because I just don't see where it's going to come from through that team.
Yeah, I mean, if you played Twansibi, McTominay and Herrera as a midfield three, it's a bit static, and that's what made me think, I wonder if we're playing a 5-2-3, which is, you've got your wing backs with Blind and Darmian, Twansibi, Lindelof and Smalling as a back three, McTominay and Herrera as a midfield two, and then Lingard as a 10 with Martial and Rashford up front. I hope it is that. I do.
Yeah, it would be good, because it'll be, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it'll be the first time we'd see Rashford and Martial up front as a pair. Obviously, Lukaku's the main man. And
I think they played against Burton, actually, didn't they, together?
Yeah. Well, so they've done it.
Too.
No, but it would be nice to see a bit of a change in the dynamic in the way we go forward. They're both exciting players. Some would argue that they're world class. They're heading up that end of the scale. So let them loose. It's Swansea. We got nothing to fear. There's nothing in their defence. Is Sanchez playing for them? Do you know?
No, he's injured. He's got a thigh injury.
No, he's injured, is it? Because I was quite looking forward to seeing how he would have got on tonight against one of the big teams.
Yeah, I think they've gone with the second string as well. There's no Narsing, there's no Tammy Abraham, no Fair. Darren Jones made a contribution. Thank you, Darren. He says, we need a reaction from the team tonight. Something that was commonplace under Sir Alex. Can't think of a single time this team has come back fighting. Yeah, it sort of died, didn't it? I spoke about that at the weekend, about how after a bad result like a Huddersfield under Sir Alex, he always used to just say, well, terrible result, but the one thing that you can be rest assured about is that United will react. Not for 4 years, really, have we? It's a bit hit and miss. But I think whatever happens tonight, Marcus, even if we won 5 or 6-0, we shouldn't forget what happened on Saturday in preparation for Spurs. I don't think tonight's result really has any impact on what we need to do against Spurs. Give us a bit of confidence, score a few goals would be nice, but a lot of these players won't actually play against Spurs anyway, so this is an isolation game, really. It really is about hopefully seeing people like Twansibi and McTominay have a good game, and Rashford playing in his position. For me, I don't like him on the wing. It's nice to see him up front.
Yeah, it is. I also think there's going to be there'll be a lot of eyes on Herrera tonight as well. The 2 games that he started with Matic, we thought early in the season, even during the summer, those two would be the partnership for the main Manchester United midfield. It hasn't been all sweetness and light so far. There's Herrera. Obviously, there's problems behind the scenes, but hopefully with Twansibi and McTominay in there, you would think that the class that Herrera has, he can put his stamp on the game and really shine. So hopefully going forward into the Saturday match against Spurs, he can go in there with a bit more confidence than what he's got at the minute.
Yeah, good question just came in from Verb Plurel, and we are still, about 20 minutes off the start of the game. So we like to sometimes wander off into topical elements. And he said, hand on heart, do you think Luke Shaw's got a future at Manchester United anymore?
I'm going to say no. I think the writing's on the wall for him. It's a shame, really, because since the career-threatening injury that he had, he's not really been, I would say, he's not really been given a fair crack at the whip at United since then. He's played 2-3 games, and then something's happened. Mourinho's thrown him under a bus quite a few times since Jose's been here. And to be honest, I think when Mourinho was at Chelsea, I think he was offered there and Mourinho turned it down. So I just don't think that I can't see him being at Manchester United beyond the summer, I'm afraid.
No. I just was dazzled by my TV there. I mean, people don't really know what the setup is like for the United stand. I could almost give you a little bit of a glimpse if you wanted to, but that would be... No, I think it's better not knowing. But I just saw my first Christmas advert. And I was like, what?
Oh,
first Christmas
that's advert. Nice for you. Oh, I'm watching the horse racing in America.
Gambling addicts, you see. Gambling addicts. That reminds me, I will talk about Luke Shaw in a minute, but me and Marcus have been on about this for a long, long time, probably about a year. It sort of started off as an idea and it has developed. And sadly, the reason we're going to do it is because of something that happened in my personal life a year ago when one of my friends who was 40 died of cancer. So on November the 18th, which is a Saturday, Manchester United are playing Newcastle United, I think at 5:30, but from 9 a.m. in the morning on that Saturday until 9 a.m. on the Sunday, I'm going to be doing a 24-hour stream on the United stand. It is going to be for charity. We are going to set up a charity Just Giving page. It will be in relation to at least 2 cancer charities because I lost my friend to it, and he's got a young family and obviously a wife, and my gran, she went a couple of weeks before Christmas with the same thing. So we are going to do that. Lots of involvement hopefully from you lot. I'm not asking you to stay with me for 24 hours, but hopefully some of you will join us throughout the day. We'll be doing the watch-along part of that, and I think there's a few other games and stuff that we can do, but that's going to be something personal to me, but hopefully we'll get involved and back it. And I know a lot of people have said, why don't you do a 24-hour stream? So it's just about doing the right thing, but I'm looking forward to doing that, Marcus. I don't know whether you'll be fit to do it, but
if all goes the way I think it's going to go, I'll be there. I'll be there supporting you, supporting the channel and the charity 100%.
You just got to know if the op goes well or not. It's whether he's going to lose both of them or one. He just doesn't know yet.
Yeah, it's a bit technical at the minute, but we press on, and I'll know more next week.
Yeah. So that's November the 18th. Anyway, obviously we'll start promoting it a little bit more. I'll probably open up the Just Giving page a little bit before that. I think my commitment to it is straight away is just going to be £1,000 straight away chucked in, and we'll see where we go with it. But I'm not saying all you lot need to do £1,000. That'd be great. But no, I'm only joking. I don't know what we can achieve, but with a 24-hour stream, it'd be nice to. I don't know. I'm confident we might get 5 or 10 grand, which would be fantastic. But we'll see. Anyway, back to the Luke Shaw thing. I mean, that's just a little thing that we can all do together. But the Luke Shaw thing, I'm going to go. I believe in Luke Shaw. It's a bit, I think this is the brilliance about everybody who likes football. Everyone's got their little idiocies, I suppose, and their little, Marcus loves Fellaini. And I've always liked Chris Smalling, and I know a lot of you don't like Chris Smalling. I've always liked Chris Smalling. I think I've just been very protective of him, because when he got sent off at the Etihad a couple of years ago, we had United fans calling him a CUNT, and I just don't like. I wouldn't come on here and call Fellaini something horrible like that. I mean, I'd call him rubbish, but I wouldn't call him something like that. It's vile. So I think I've always been a bit protective of Smalling, and actually, I think Smalling's very good in the air. He's got a mistake in him, obviously, but I like Smalling. I've always liked Smalling, and I like Luke Shaw. I personally think on his day, Luke Shaw is the best left back in England. So it's whether he can get that day back. And I think if we let him go, he will do it. I don't think this is about his ability. I sort of touching on what Marcus was saying there. I think a lot of it's to do with Mourinho not liking something in Luke Shaw. I don't know what it is. But I just think talent will win out in the end. Just like Martial has made Mourinho, have to eat his own words. I think Luke Shaw can do it. He just needs to be given time to do it. But it's harder when you're a defender, because he'll attack you more. He'll say, oh, you're out of position more. Whereas an attacker, you might be out of position, but look what I've just done. I've just gone past 4 players and scored a goal. So, I can see why people think he is done, but maybe it's hope that he isn't. I like him.
Yeah, I can see your point about him, but it's the time. And patience has Mourinho run out of patience with him now? Obviously, he's something's amiss somewhere. Whether it's a mind thing, whether it's something in training, whether he's just not working hard enough. I mean, when I've seen him play, he's all right going forward, but I just don't think as a natural defensive side of his game is very good. So, and I think now we're being linked to the likes of Danny Rose, I can see that deal happening, or maybe like some sort of swap deal between Spurs and United for him. I honestly just think Mourinho's run out of patience with him, and he's just thought, you're always injured. You may do better elsewhere, but it's a risk he's willing to take.
Yeah, he's English as well, which is, we haven't got that many English players at the club anymore.
No, but if it's a swap deal for Danny Rose, it's not such a bad thing in the long run.
I'd be terrified about that, to be honest, the swap deal for Danny Rose, because I think, what Pochettino does with players, I think it would be 6 months and we'd be going, we got a bad deal there. But we won't get a bad deal because Mourinho doesn't want to put the work in with Luke Shaw, and if Pochettino does and it pays off, then well done Pochettino. Mourinho doesn't seem to want to put the work in with him, so maybe if Luke Shaw leaves, I'll still think he's a good player.
But see, that would be a benefit to Mourinho, because he wouldn't have to put the work into Danny Rose.
Yeah, well,
Danny Rose is
27, isn't he? And
yeah, he's near enough to complete left back, and Mourinho.
The thing that surprises me though is that Luke Shaw is 6 foot and Danny Rose is like 5 foot, and Mourinho loves height, and Luke Shaw can pretty much. The big thing about Luke Shaw is if it's Luke Shaw that we all know, the player we think he is, then Luke Shaw is as good as Danny Rose going forward. He's as quick as he is, but he's also taller. But we don't know what's going on behind closed doors, do we? Some people think Luke Shaw's finished, and maybe the injury has maybe doesn't go into tackles. Although I've seen him going into tackles for United, so I don't know.
But he doesn't always look committed in his tackles, though. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it's a psychological thing.
Yeah, totally understandable.
Definitely. When you've had a leg break like he has, it is understandable that it's in his mind that it can happen again, because obviously your leg's going to be a little bit weaker than what it was before, so you're twice as susceptible to get another injury. So I can understand it from that point of view, but I do think the writing's on the wall for him. If he can't start in a game like this, what hope is there?
Talking of injuries, I burned somebody at work today. So I've started playing. We've got a tournament in a couple of weeks, so we've been playing Thursday night after work, getting our fitness up. And first game last week, and one of the lads is probably about 10 years younger than me. Very good. He was on the books of a couple of the clubs local, and very good. There's I can see a player who's very, very good. Anyway, he's running through, and he was getting into a bit of a competition with one of the opposition players, and he brought the skills out with one of these Ronaldo chop sort of things and rolled his foot on the ball. And I saw it from behind, and he did his ankle trying to do a skill move, and he was back today at work, and he's damaged ankle ligaments on his crutches and everything. And with perfect timing, I went, oh dear. Last week, I was rolling back the years. You were rolling your ankle and putting it into plaster for 6 weeks. But But in all seriousness, talking about injuries, if you've had an injury like that, Luke Shaw's, which was horrific, I don't care who you are. I mean, he went into a 50-50 ball and his leg snapped. If you can't get over that psychologically, you can't get over it. It's like, in your mind, if you are affected by it, it's like any tackle you go into, you're thinking that might happen, and that can happen. But then you look at someone like Valencia, it happened to him, and he's come back from it. And Aaron Ramsey at Arsenal, he's come back from it. So I think he can, but whether he will or not, I don't know. What about Herrera? Some people are talking about Herrera, saying massive game for him tonight. Another player who got a bollocking off Mourinho at the weekend. I think in relation to Martial and Herrera, I think if he had the players, he would drop them, because that's what Mourinho's like. But he hasn't got the players, so hopefully they can sort of ram it down his throat, because I like Herrera and Martial.
Yeah, I do as well. They've got points to prove, for very different reasons. Martial, I think, every time he comes on, he's exciting. He's majority of the time he's set. He's creating goals. He's scoring. So he's doing the job. But Herrera is a different situation altogether. Herrera just seems totally redundant. at the minute in this Manchester United side. From going from one of the players of the season last season, wasn't he voted the player of the season?
Yeah, I said it. I said it
Yeah.
on Red Rumours yesterday. It's like he's gone from being one of the best players in the Premier League to the Spanish Jordan Henderson, and there's no reason for it. I mean, I've read a lot of United fans, some on the United stands, some on social media, saying Salim is rubbish and this, that, and the other. And I think, whoa. I understand the frustration at a player declining so sharply, but it isn't going to last. He's what, 27, 28? He's been really good for us for a couple of years, and he's been bad for a couple of months. He will get back to his form. I don't understand why, because he was one of the most consistent players we've got. I don't understand why he's gone so bad, but he is bad at the moment. I accept that, but I also know that when he's playing how he can, he's far superior to Fellaini, let's say. But at the moment, Fellaini would walk back in the team.
So you think he's better?
Oh, yes. I mean, was Fellaini our star player last year? No, Herrera was. Sit down.
No, but you could argue at the minute. I mean, he's the component we're missing in this side at the minute.
Well, that's you know what? If you want to go down that road, I'll jump in the car with you, because if Fellaini, if we miss Fellaini, I'm not accepting that, because if we genuinely do miss Fellaini, I think that's a big problem for United. Manchester United should not miss a player like Marouane Fellaini. And in all due respect to him, he's playing really, really well at the moment, but he ain't bloody Eden Hazard. He's not Aguero. You know, he's not Coutinho. He's just a decent, and I nearly said average. He's a decent midfielder. He's not a top-class midfielder. He's not a world-class midfielder. And the fact that United are missing a player like that says everything about what's wrong with United, because we shouldn't be missing a player like Fellaini.
No, we shouldn't.
Pogba, yes. But Fellaini, realistically, he should just be a squad player for us.
Yeah, you can say that, yeah, but I mean, then you would go back. You'd go back to the summer. If Mourinho had been backed by the board, we would have had the players that he originally wanted. He wanted 4 or 5. Instead, he's got 3. So it's a 50-50 take on it. If he'd have been backed, Fellaini might not have even been in the starting lineup. We don't know. You could say it for many, many reasons, but at this moment in time, I think he is one of the most important people in this side at the minute, whether you like him or not.
I was going to say, we're very close to 43,500 subscribers. If you are new, make sure you click that subscribe icon in the bottom right hand corner and join the United Stand community. Fantastic show last night, 8 o'clock, with the Skype show. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. Loads of interaction, and the live comments is always up on the screen. So, you know, massively about your opinion. So just subscribe, get involved, and I'm sure you're going to really enjoy the community that we've found. I'm off the drink tonight because I'm a tooth. Marcus, can you do where's everybody watching from? Because I can hear Seb crying and his mum should be about, so I'm just going to go and check and find out what's going on.
Not being funny, you sure that's yours and not mine? Because I can hear mine crying. Right then, so let's see, where is...
Let me just pop upstairs, wait me a minute.
Yeah, okay, no worries. Right, let's see where everyone is watching from tonight then, and let's hit the like, share and subscribe button and get over the 1,000 likes that we like to get before the kick-off. So we got a lot of people all over the world tuning in, which is great to see. Hope everyone had a fantastic weekend as well. So let's just change my TV channel and just get it over to the right one, and then I shall be back with you. So we got the teams coming out. Smalling, captain tonight, leading us out. Swansea looking very confident on the walk out there out the tunnel. What else we got here? Tell you what, probably a big night for Romero tonight as well, because it's always De Gea, isn't it? Romero's hardly played this season, so it'll be good to see that, see how he gets on. So they got Nordfeldt in goal. They got a back four, and Swansea are playing with 4-3-3. So they got Routledge on the right, Ayew on the left, and McBurney in the centre.
I'm back.
And then United, that's all right, mate. Yeah.
Oh, Karen.
So I was just saying, our Sky have got United set up here.
Yeah, 4-2-3-1, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we predict. It might not be that, but we'll see.
So it looks like, Twanzebe and Herrera sitting. We got Lingard on the right. McTominay, they got labelled as the
number 10.
man behind. Yeah.
Surprised he ain't got a wig on.
And then
to be honest, I'm excited to see McTominay because I don't really rate him at all. And, in the nicest possible way, he's just not... It really surprised me that he's come through the youth setup. So I'm hoping that tonight we're going to see something from McTominay that Mourinho has obviously seen. And, I'll never lie, and I'll always say that I don't see him as a future United player. So if he was, of course, brilliant. He's been at the club since he was 5 years old. I want him to be a success. I just don't think he will be. Twanzebe, yes. But very exciting to see 2 youth players coming through from the youth setup. And we're very, very close to kick-off. I'm
hoping that we get a decent performance tonight, because the last 3 performances, Liverpool, Benfica, and obviously Huddersfield, such disappointing performances from the team.
Yeah.
So I'd be interested to see if these youngsters can come out tonight and take their chance.
Yeah, well, hopefully we will see Lingard on the right as well, because I think as a squad player, this sort of game's really, really good for him. You got Rashford, obviously. You got Martial. You got 2 young lads in the midfield. You got Herrera. And apart from the back 4, although Lindelof's going to be interesting to watch, in an attacking sense, there's lots to keep you entertained tonight. And at the end of the day, if we get through this, we're closer to Wembley for a tournament that Mourinho probably wants to win. But in an attacking sense, we've got a lot of our big players missing. But this is what the League Cup should be about, really. We get to see Martial starting a game, which doesn't always happen. Rashford up front doesn't always happen. Herrera's opportunity, and McTominay. I think we're playing a 3-5-2. I think I've got it right.
It does look that way, yeah.
Definitely.
Rashford started up there. Martial started as the front 2.
Twanzebe's in a back 3, so it's definitely a 3-5-2. Predicted it.
Darwin's on the right side. Clever Goldbridge.
I know.
Hey,
I did say.
Give yourself a star.
I get it right sometimes, but I'm quite pleased by that because we get to see Martial and Rashford up front, which is good.
Yes, that's the most exciting thing, I think. Those 2 up front. So hopefully then, with that attacking talent up there, you should be in for a good game and a couple of goals. Lingard's got it down the right here.
I think that's a positive as well. I think that's a positive as well because Twanzebe is actually playing in his position, which is as a centre back. In his time for Mourinho, he's always played him as a midfielder or as a full back. It's good. It is probably a bit more of a 5-3-2, as Jonathan Royston Ford says, because it's not really a 3-5-2 when you've got should have scored Smalling.
Yeah, should have
done. It's not really a 3-5-2 when you've got Lindelof and Blind as your fullbacks because Darmian can't really attack. So probably be more of a 3-5-2 if you had Valencia and Young, but Blind will get forward though. But I'm happy with that. And what I like about it as well, Marcus, is the fact that we are using that we are using a different formation. So it just, you know, I thought we were using 4-2-3-1 a bit too much, and it's nice to know that, you know, Mourinho will change it.
Yes, it is. And like I say, you know, we've got the 3-5-2 as it's laid out. The way they're set up is definitely the way they're going. But then we've also got, you know, we can fall back on a 5 at the back, because we know how Mourinho likes to shut out a game if it's only 1-0 or 2-1. So there's that option as well.
I'd be terrified. I mean, I love the thing I love about the 5-3-2 or the 3-5-2, and I've said it so many times, it's cheating. You get 2 players up front, but you don't get dominated in the midfield or at the back. And when you've got Rashford and Martial up front, ooh, McTominay's all right.
Oh, yeah, that was a tasty tackle, wasn't it?
Mm. But yeah, I mean, if I was Swansea, I'd be absolutely, you know, whatever about form. You don't want to be playing against Martial and Rashford as a front two. So exciting.
George says Smalling yet again showing his true quality. Huh? Bit of a crap pass from Smalling then, though, wasn't it?
I didn't see it.
Ah.
But Lingard as a number 10 is worrying.
Oh, come on, Rashford. That is, yes, that is. Especially when there's Mata on the bench. Me personally, I would have gone for Mata first because, as I said earlier, I can't see the creativity in the side. All right, Herrera can play a ball through, but he can't. He's not one of those people that can find that tricky pass.
No.
That can.
Here we go.
Oh, that's handball, isn't it?
Lingard.
Right. Yeah, Lingard's off. He's going.
He should be looking at Martial there. Oh, he ignored the bloody pass, twat.
Yeah, he's done it again.
You see, this is United's problem. We're on the break there. There was 2 passes he could have played to Martial. He went, and Lingard, I've not said this about Lingard for a long time, but he likes to pass sideways. And then this is exactly what Tom Ince was saying at the weekend about United. You just know they're not going to attack you quickly. And we had the opportunity there to play quick through balls. We slow it down. Swansea have now got 10 men behind the ball. We've still got the ball, but we're right back where the break started from with our defence. We're not good at that killer pass.
Well, no, but again, I think that's down to the fact that we don't have the natural number 10 there. Mickey's not in form.
Right,
Mata, for some reason, is being ignored at the minute. And we all know, I mean, well, I don't know what everyone else thinks, but
Martial,
yeah,
and a decent shot by Lingard. Good to see.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where Lingard is a threat if you give him a shot, but Lingard does like to pass sideways, and that's not good for a number 10. Steady on, Lingard. We're not playing at Wembley, mate. You're scored there.
Yeah, calm down. Let's have a look then. Right, so the corner's coming in from Blind.
I hate that.
Bit of a high one.
20 wins it. He's offside, Smalling.
He's offside, well and truly.
No, he played it on.
No?
You should have won that then, you lazy get.
Yeah. Twain Shine, he's got some strength there.
Nafis has put a shout out to anybody in South Africa if they're able to watch it. We get a lot of South Africans watching. I meant to say it last night on the Skype show. I saw a lot of you there. Big shout out to the South African Reds, because I know there's a lot of you watch. I do read all the comments, and obviously I missed the global shout out Marcus did, because it's my favourite bit and I missed it. I'll have to wait till Spurs now because Sebi was crying, but he's settled down now. I've told him that Luke Shaw's not finished. That's why he was crying about it. He was like, oh, he loves Luke Shaw.
Funny that, I could have sworn he texted me earlier and said Fellaini, he was going to cry because Fellaini's not playing.
Fellaini's the only picture of Fellaini he's seen is on the dartboard. That reminds me, actually, I got a lot of sticks. Swansea got a lot of the ball at the moment. I'd have to, when it comes to social media, I don't really listen to a lot of it, really. I like social media, but I don't really listen to it because you get a lot of keyboard warriors. I do listen to the United Stan community, so I'm going to tell you a little tweet that went out this afternoon, and you can give us your thoughts on it. Swansea on the attack at the moment, but not really getting through our lines. So Henrik Mkhitaryan's going to have a film made about his life. So I tweeted out, Henrik Mkhitaryan's going to have a film made about his life. quote retweet what film titles you think, and I'll retweet some of the good ones. And I said Invisible Man ? The abuse I got underneath it from, oh, you CUNT, you should back your players, this, that and the other. I just think sometimes social media is lacking the sense of humour bone. But there were some good ones. Titanic was there. Feel free in the live comments to give us your Mkhitaryan film title for the film of his life. I thought Invisible Man was really good. Spineless isn't a film, is it? I've never heard of that film, so couldn't Arsenal would have that one, obviously. We could develop it away from Mkhitaryan and say what would be a good film for people like Arsenal, but we'll stick with Mkhitaryan for the moment. And half a chance for Swansea from a corner there, but it's gone for a goal kick.
Yeah, bit of a dangerous corner there. That was mid-height, driven in.
We've got a Spurs
you got the
fan
run on.
Nathan
Who was
Da
that?
Vinci says, you're scared of us. Well, actually, I do know a Spurs fan.
Romero's play.
There is one. And no, I do know a Spurs fan. She came on last year when we played them at the end of the season, and she was giving the big I am because we were playing the kids, weren't we? And they did beat us. But I'm going to see if she wants to come on the show on Thursday night for a preview, and we'll see what she's got to say. I'll put my hands up. Spurs are a good team. They are a good team. I've watched a lot of Spurs this year because they're in a really competitive Champions League group, and obviously we've started the That's Football channel, which is a bit more generic, and we do a few watch-alongs on there. So I've watched Spurs quite a lot this season. They're a good team. They are a good team. They're the enemy on Saturday. We've got to beat them. That was a good ball by Herrera forward. Can't understand why it's not a foul on Rashford.
Yeah. Hey, look, I mean, Swansea dominating possession at the minute. We're chasing shadows in the middle of the pitch. Saying that, we've got it back now.
We're only 8 minutes in, but I'm going to say something. You know me, I won't hold back. McTominay just looks a little bit out of his depth. Just saying. Maybe it's only 10 minutes though. I mean, I remember I've made debuts in my lifetime, and you know you need about half an hour. You'll start to get your confidence. But he reminds me of Ian Ormond.
Yeah, I mean, once
if anyone remembers it.
Once he gets a few passes going, he'll settle down. So Diamond's got it here. Over to Lingard, Rashford.
Yeah, we're moving the ball around.
It's going to be very hard to.
The thing I like about the 3-5-2 or the 5-3-2 is that it forces you to be more attacking. Tottenham Hotspur 1882 says by 2010-20 we are be the elite of Europe and United will be a nothing club with Arsenal. Oh, you know what? I've just been nice to Spurs and said you're a good team, and then you come on here giving it the big I am. When have you ever won the league in your history? You know, I mean, bloody hell. I mean, if Spurs we must be doing terrible if we've got Spurs fans coming on giving it the big one. Look, mate, you've not won the league. You might have played good football, but you've won nothing. And to be honest, sit down. You know, even if you win at the weekend, you won't win the league. So Spurs fans giving it.
Yeah, but if we lose at the weekend,
we won't be winning the title.
We could say we're out of the title race.
We are out of the title, but Spurs were out of the title the minute they took the money and went to Wembley because teams will give it a go.
So Lindelof, he's not looking forward very much when he's got the ball. He's quite happy to play it along the back. McTominay's got it in the middle here, out to Daily Blind.
David Bell says, film names for Tottenham, Bridesmaids. That's a good one. I like that. Always the bridesmaids, never the bride. So Tottenham Hotspur 1882 says, say that in 2020. Oh, God. You're as bad as Liverpool fans living in the past, living in the future. Yeah, Seb's crying again.
Smalling's getting out muscled there.
His mum's back
now. That's the second tackle I've seen Smalling make. That's a bit rash.
Christopher Montague, Arsenal film title. The Invisibles. Dying Sarcasm, what do we think of Spurs? You know, genuinely, apart from winding up their delusional fans, I think they're a very good team. I think they, you know, I thought they were the best team in the league last year, but Chelsea were very resolute, and I think Spurs struggled. Well, Chelsea won the league last year because they didn't have European football, and Spurs did. And the year that Leicester won it, Spurs probably should have won it, but again, Leicester didn't have European football, so you know, circumstances. And also, Spurs are they're still a little bit of a bottling team. Watch them hammer us on Saturday now. Bit of a head of the Routledge there, but I think Romero was...
Wayne Routledge getting above Swansea, yeah.
No, Blind. Oh no, was Swansea, yeah. It should not be being beaten by somebody who's like
Swansea,
smaller, yeah. Manan Rapani says, I hate Lingard and others do as well. Good argument.
So we're not doing nothing with the ball. I mean, we're getting forward a couple of times, but there's no end product at the minute.
Hitting long balls when you've got Rashford and Martial up front is not the answer.
Yeah, it's not worth it, is it? You might as well just give them back the possession.
Yeah, we're being played... I won't say we're being played off the park, but Swansea are definitely on top at the moment.
Goal kick, ref. Oh no, he played that off him. That's a goal kick, surely.
Right?
But he's given a corner.
What the bloody hell's going on?
Seems like without the ball, we're slipping into a back five.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a 5-3-2.
Good block from Twansebe. Lindelof to bring it out. Can he pick the right ball? No.
Well, we're set up way too defensively again with no creativity.
Oh, look, another mistake from Lindelof, look. What is he doing? Oh, it's no good putting your bloody hand up.
We know you're crap. Matthew McFadden says, Mickey's movie is Titanic. Jones is gone in 60 seconds, relating to how quickly he gets injured. Fellaini could be it because he's an absolute clown. Oh, I like that. I like that. Hat trick.
That's
high
a good
five.
one.
Good
Yeah.
one. Here's Lingard.
That is a good one.
Martial couldn't get it.
Oh, we're in here. No.
It's a good game.
It is.
Not in the fact that United are playing
Swansea
well, but it's quite an open game.
I think Swansea are looking the more dangerous. They've had good corner into the box, a couple of crosses into the box.
McTominay looks like when you put your TV on slow play. I know he's very tall.
Give him time.
He just looks too slow for me. And he stands way too far off. Look at him. He stands way too far off the player. You've got to get in as a midfielder. Well, you've left your man
We've
there.
said that about Lindelof on Saturday. Lindelof was standing way too apart.
I thought bloody Herrera just caught it in the box then. Thankfully, it's a free kick.
I saw that. What are you doing?
Dyson Fury says, shout out to his nan. Rest in peace. United so frustrating to watch, says Emmanuel. You'd rather be watching United than the Bake Off, wouldn't you? To be honest, no. I'd rather be watching the Bake Off.
Look at that.
Lindelof needs to shave his head. Every time I used to watch him when he was any good, he had a shaved head. I thought he was like a bit of a thug. He looks like he's an extra for the One Direction at the moment.
So we seem quite comfortable just passing it around the back here. Smalling and Lindelof are doing. No, we're not. They're closing us down pretty quick. I mean, we don't look as though we want to take any risks at the moment.
Martial's coming deep. Ooh.
Yeah, he's dropping too far.
Goodbye, Herrera. See, when we play the ball quicker, teams struggle.
Here we go. Right, Rashford run at him. Come on.
Unlucky.
Unlucky.
Players back though, aren't they? It's very hard for Rashford or Martial to do something in a game like this.
It is, because it's almost as if Swansea are copying us when they don't have the ball. They're playing like it seems like they got the 5 at the back there with the 4 in front of them.
That was good by McTominay. Oh, come on, ref.
Oh, that's late, ref. That's a yellow. That should be a yellow. Bit late on Martial there.
He got away with that because he's Oriental. He looks innocent when he gets up. That's a definite yellow on Martial. Dirty get.
That is a yellow, yeah. So, free kick in a dangerous position. Right hand side of their box. As we're playing from left to right. Lyndon Rashford standing over it. Looks like Rashford's going to take it.
Somebody just said that McTominay is a B-Tech Fellaini, and then someone just said Tottenham are a B-Tech Arsenal. There's lots of bants on the live comments tonight. Corner to United, anyway. Rashford's on the corners. God. Dennis Lever's just made a real weird contribution. He says, bad tackle on Martial, but not a yellow because there was not a chance to score a goal. You don't get a yellow card just because there's a chance to score a goal. You can't just go and stud somebody in the centre circle because there's loads. You're far away from the goal. You don't get a yellow.
So it's going all the way back again. Right, we got a throw in their half, and it's gone back to Romero.
Action areas in the first half are 80% middle and our end, 20% their end. Oh, he's just done Herrera there.
Yeah. John, the first 20 minutes, it's almost as if we're playing not to be beat. Apart from Martial getting in once. There's been nothing else for me so far. I think it's pretty obvious that Swansea recognise a weak link down our right side. Everything seems to be coming down there with Darmian.
Yeah, well done.
Or against Darmian. Yeah. Right, now we're on the break. Rashford. Right, run, boy.
Look, there was just like
too far away.
Lazy pass that by Rashford. He's trying to pull off some sort of worldy pass. He hasn't got the support, but that was just wasting possession. See, Lingard's I've said this before. I've not said it for a long time. Here's Lingard. He's going to score.
Here we go. He's in.
Yes.
He's in. It's 1-0.
Rashford, I think.
Rashford, what was you saying about Lingard then?
Oh, I can't watch him with his
Carry
silly
on.
Pied Piper
What was you
thing.
saying?
I can't watch that. Is he finished? I can't watch the Lingard. Let's watch the goal back. The thing I was going to say about Lingard is, it was Rashford who set him up with a lovely flick. Herrera, Rashford, Lingard. Oh yes, lovely Rashford flick that was. 1-0.
Do you know what? It's fantastic that we scored, but I'm all for hearing the rest of that sentence you was going to say.
Don't know what you're on about.
But the thing about Lingard is,
I've got things to do.
All right, Lingard scored in the last 3 League Cup appearances. That's not a bad stat.
Keep him in the League Cup.
Yeah.
Don't want him playing that well, because if Lingard plays against Spurs, we're screwed. Right.
Oh, Rashford.
I like Rashford centrally, though. I mean, I've said it a lot of times, but I do.
He's a lot more dangerous, isn't he? He poses that much more of a threat through the middle.
It's just not a winger.
No, he's not. But I can see that he can do a good job at it, because again, he can cause problems out there with his pace. But it's obviously not his natural position. Playing him through the middle, you get that extra 10-15% with him.
Yeah. Here we go.
We're off again here. Martial.
Don't know where he was going there.
Tomley.
Fucking. So Martial laid it off to McTominay, who just needed to run through on goal and decided to run back towards Martial. Matthew McFadden says Jesse Lingard should join the common goal and donate 1% of his salary to those unfortunate enough to see that shocking celebration. Oh, I tell you what, I'm glad he scored, but I can't stand him when he celebrates. I can't watch it. Brings shame on the club.
Well, at least he didn't dab.
Yeah, at least the dab has disappeared.
Yeah. He could have dabbed there as like a tribute.
Does any other youth know what he's doing? And to me, it's Pied Piper, and what's that meant to mean? I'm playing a Pied Piper tune, but it might mean something to the youth. I don't know what it means when he starts doing that. Anybody want to give us an explanation? I think that's a good comment from Christopher Quinlivan. He says Lingard can't create, which is very true. I was just about to say that before he scored, is that if you...
No, he wasn't.
What I was about to say is, if you watch Lingard when he gets the ball, 90% of the time it's a pass backwards or a pass sideways, which is a number 10 is rubbish. You've got to be passing forward. That's the number 10's job. But I remember saying this about Lingard before. Most of his passing is backwards or sideways. Just watch him. Oh, here again. Turns to play backwards all the time. But... you know, he didn't need to pass to anybody on the goal because somebody put him through.
Right, now do you want to tell the truth and say what you was going to say?
That was genuinely what I was going to say.
No, it wasn't.
It was because he'd just done another pass backwards. He'd just done another pass backwards.
No.
And I was just about to say, Lingard again, watch the next 5 minutes of him and he'll pass back. I mean, I always just turn around and pass forward. He's obviously heard me. Good.
There we go. Yeah, right.
Well, we're 1-0 up anyway, which, you know, you were slating us. I was being positive.
No, I wasn't slating us. I said that we looked like we... I said we not really threatened that much, apart from the Martial through, the run. There was nothing else, really.
No, it's been quite an equal game, to be fair. McTominay, down the wing.
He's got round here. He's being pulled back there, ref. Come on.
He needs to stop moaning and just bloody play on. We've got a free kick. He was motoring there. Don't know why people call him a donkey. Apparently the Lingard celebration is from a Drake song. You see, I knew the youth would know what it's all about. Tottenham Hotspur 1882 has probably come out with the comment of the night, considering he's been talking drivel. He said Jesse Lingard is the B-Tech Dele Alli, which I think is probably about right.
Yeah. So we've got another free kick here. Rashford standing over it.
He'll shoot. There's no way he's crossing this. He's shooting.
I think that's going to be a driven cross.
Yeah, you were right. Clear.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. So apparently I'm a McTominay hater now. I'm not. Who did I have trials for? Peterborough United and Northampton Town.
That was interesting. I never knew that.
I've mentioned it a few times. Well, actually, this is a lesson in life to everybody because I was quite a young lad. I didn't go to my Peterborough United trials. I didn't turn up. What an idiot.
Just as well, seeing as you missed that sitter in London.
I played last week, scored 2 off those things. The wand was back, the original wand. It was a bad miss in London. I think it was psychologically I was damaged by the crap I was playing with, especially the goalkeeper.
That was the goalkeeper that was in jeans and shoes.
Yeah, I think you can figure out who the goalkeeper was.
That should not have been playing in the first place. That came there and supported
spot
you.
on. You should not have been playing. To be honest, that United stand five-a-side team should have been. I should have got paid out millions under the Trade Description Act because it wasn't what people sold themselves to be.
No. Oh,
one of them
that's
had been
bad.
on Arsenal's books, although he was crap, to be fair, so he probably had been.
I think the main culprit of the team was Ross.
Matthew McFadden's on the ball tonight. He says, Mark may have had trials for Peterborough, but I had trials for robbery and aggravated assault. Who's the real winner?
I like that. That's a good one.
Lindelof again, making a bit of a dog's dinner. Tell you what, he's making Darmian look good, though.
He's not settled in very well, has he? Bit of a reputation, not the highest of reputations, but
oh God,
you know, bit of an unknown.
He's lucky there. Oh, he is. I don't know. He's in a battle with Lovren at the moment for being the worst player in the Premier League, but I don't think he'll be a flop. I think he'll turn it around, but at the moment I can't really. Oh, here we go. Good ball. Rashford. Oh, how can he be off?
He's gone. Oh, just offside.
Ahmed says, how is Lindelof doing? Let him go. Let people know in the live comments, folks. Remember, we've got quite a lot of you watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Really great community, as you can tell. 8 o'clock every night we're live with different sort of content. Obviously, this is a watch along for when United play, but we do lots of other things, Skype-ins and discussions. So get involved, and obviously after tonight we'll be building up towards the big game on Saturday lunchtime, Spurs.
Is that a 12:30 kickoff?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, nearly an own goal.
Oh,
Cross from Daily Blind. Cross comes in. Daily Blind heads it back towards his own goal, hits a Swansea player and goes wide. I don't know what Blind's actually thinking of doing there. Could have gone in.
in fairness to Blind there, look, it's coming right across the face of goal.
Yeah, he's just not connected right.
Yeah. It's
Beck's on
just
holiday
unfortunate
again.
for it.
Beck's always on holiday.
Yeah, out of Spain at the minute.
Yeah, seen that. I'm with you, Matt Hugh. Lindelof will come good. The thing is, Mourinho, if there's one thing he knows, it's centre backs. I can't imagine him getting it wrong. But he did. I've always said that about Mourinho. To be fair, he has had a lot of flops in his career. At Chelsea, he got quite a few wrong. It's just at United, he's got so many right. Swansea needs to be careful there.
He's in trouble.
He did all right, Smalling.
Yeah.
See, Smalling to the rescue.
Do you know what? I actually think Smalling slipped there and just luckily got the ball out of play.
Bottlers of the North are Arsenal and Spurs. I agree with you, Fionn. Oh, you know what? You only live once. We'll beat Spurs at the weekend, and all their King of the North chat will be. Oh no! I thought you'd given a penalty then. No.
Right. I agree with Scott Roberts. Lindelof's the reason for the loss against Huddersfield. I totally agree with that.
They've been in a coma or something.
No.
Well, we all know Lindelof was at fault for the Huddersfield game. It's not.
Oh yeah, no, but I'm just reading out his comment.
Well, it's not breaking news.
Well, no, but knowing you try and put it on to someone else.
Well, to be honest with you, I've said it a few times. I personally would have. I don't understand why Lindelof even came on. Blind and Smalling have played as a centre back pair more than any other couple of defenders we've got in the squad at the moment, and I thought Lindelof being chucked in at the deep end like that when he's looked totally redundant of confidence was very surprising. So you could put it on Mourinho a bit. I thought Mourinho's subs, all three, were shocking at the weekend.
Yeah.
I know Rashford scored, but taking Mata and Martial off was just shocking.
Swansea had a bit of a dangerous bit of play there coming round.
If I was Mourinho, I don't know what you think, Marcus, and everybody at home, but this, I would be getting Lingard off after an hour. You've got to get Mkhitaryan on. You know, he obviously likes Mkhitaryan. This is the perfect game for Mkhitaryan to come on and, you know, at least pass the ball and control it once. You know, get a bit of confidence.
No, I would say Mata. I think Mkhitaryan's had 3 games in a row playing poorly, so I would go for Mata if he's going to take Lingard off. I mean, Mata's fresh, so I'll shove in the back there on Martial. Good quick free kick. They read it.
I don't know how I'm going to do this 24-hour stream, you know, if United play crap. That 2 hours will put me to sleep.
Trust me, I'll keep you awake.
Oh, God, that makes me feel even worried. I will be staying awake. Thumbs to the wall.
I'll make you a legend on something, mate, some game.
I don't know whether I'll be able to do gaming, though.
Yeah, you will.
No, but you know, because I normally do it through my PS4, it'd be like a separate stream. It needs to be a continuous stream. I need to figure out. I mean, I've got the editing. I just need to figure out how to do it. Call of Duty will be out by then.
Yeah, that'll keep you awake.
Arsenal losing to Norwich. It's not. At the end of the day, it is the League Cup. I mean, I'm enjoying it because we're getting to see some of the young lads, and that's great. And we are the holders of this, and Mourinho takes it seriously. But you know, if Arsenal did lose to Norwich, I guarantee you, Arsenal are playing a load of kids.
Oh yeah, they probably are.
We're not playing kids. We're playing a £30 million centre back, a £20 million right back. You know, a £20 million left back. You know, it's a £40 million striker in Martial. You know, 100 grand a week, number 10.
Yeah, you can say that, but apart from Martial and Rashford, the rest are really bench players.
Technically, they are. Yeah.
Yeah, Herrera's only in there at the minute because of injury.
And I think that's the problem with United, really, is that you're right, you're absolutely right. This is a second string United side, but it sort of shows the problem that we've got when we've got a second string team full of, you know, experienced players when we really should be playing more youth than we are. And it's just another sign of how United have just got lots and lots of mediocre squad players who are not kids but are expensive. You know, Blind will be on a big whack. Darmian will be on big wages. Smalling's on big wages. Lindelof's obviously on big wages. McTominay and Swansea he won't be, but Lingard's on massive wages. You know, it's like Romero will be on good wages as well. We pay a lot. We've got a big, massive squad, and if they were really top players, then great, but they're not. They're just, you know, they're average players.
Yeah, they are average players in terms of Manchester United quality players, but teams like, let's say, Stoke, even, you know, Swansea, the obvious ones, you know, Huddersfield, Bournemouth, you know, they bite their arm off to get some of our bench players or second string players. Yeah,
definitely.
So it's, you know, you got to say, I think it's a better than average.
I mean, Smalling would walk into an Everton side. Oh, Lindelof there. He's walking with his hands round his side. He should be barging his way through. Oh, Rashford limping.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, clash of the legs there. Rashford and Olsen.
Hopefully just run it off.
Well, if he's got to come off at half time, there's not a bad replacement with Lukaku on the bench, is there?
Yeah, I mean,
But
to be fair, people say, oh, Lukaku needs a rest, but Lukaku had a bit of rest on the international break because he was injured for one of the games. And also, Lukaku's, not done a lot with the ball for a couple of games. I think he's had hardly any touches at all. So a bit of confidence for Lukaku in the second half wouldn't go amiss.
yeah,
8 minutes to half time. Oh, lovely skill by Martial.
yeah, he's been pulled back again there. That's got to be a yellow because that's the second one. That's the same guy that's chopped him down earlier.
Yeah. Olsen's gone, stretched his.
Yeah. It's that hamstring, isn't it?
Swedish, isn't he? Friends with Lindelof.
Nigel Jones says, should we have signed Michael Keane instead of Lindelof?
No, he's crap.
No.
Did you watch Everton at the weekend? Ashley Williams and Michael Keane are like players that I've seen United fans say, oh yeah, we should get them. They're not United class. I mean, I'm not saying Lindelof is, but...
David says he hates to say it, but Lindelof would struggle starting a championship side.
No, he'll come good. I mean, to be honest, Mourinho's not really helped him, has he? Because we started this season and he didn't play him, probably for the right reasons, to be fair. But look, I'll keep saying it. He's not a flop yet, and confidence is massive in football, especially as a defender. And Vidic had a bad start to his career. It took him about 6 months to start to show any progress. So, it's early days with Lindelof. Blind's cross, Lindelof. Oh,
high again.
He's Blind.
John, notice with our free kicks, right? They're either too low or too high.
Yeah, I hate the looping cross.
Mm. Come on, Lingard, get. Yeah, I think the midfield of Herrera and Twansibi has worked quite well so far.
Yeah. I mean, it is a Swansea B team. We must remember that.
Yeah. But you can only play what's out in front of you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, Rashford still looks like he's he's definitely carrying something, Rashford. He's not moving freely, as they say.
Nah. Well, he's off and running there.
You don't watch The Walking Dead, do you?
Yep.
Oh, you do?
Yep.
What do you think last night?
No, I haven't watched that one yet. I'm watching that tonight.
All right.
Yeah.
Don't look on the live comments for the next 5 minutes.
No, I'm not.
That's
as soon as you mentioned
red rag
that,
to a ball.
yeah.
Nothing major happened anyway. It was good. I don't think anybody could spoil it.
Do you watch the I suppose would you call it a spin-off? The Fear of the Walking Dead?
I watched the first 5 minutes of it and I just thought, oh, I don't know. I know some people who really like The Walking Dead have said it's crap, so
Yeah, it's not all that what it's cracked up to be.
Remember, if you're new to the United Stand, click that subscribe button, the icon in the bottom right hand corner, and make sure you click the bell to get all our notifications when we go live. I think our next show is going up tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I don't think it's a live show, but it's a nice little surprise show, and then I'll be live with you tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock every night, as you all know, an hour before every kickoff, right the way through till full time. Loads going on. Live comments is always on the video, so you're always part of it. And Agent Paul says Lindelof sounds like a chocolate bar. What is the chocolate bar it sounds like? I'm thinking of Lindt, but here we go.
Yeah, Lindt
Herrera's
chocolate.
in. Little pass. Martial.
A little bit heavy.
McTominay! Oh, set him up lovely there.
Tell you what, for a first time hit, he's not that far over. I mean, obviously it's gone higher the further it's gone, but
he's had a nosebleed. It's a corner anyway.
Yeah.
It's rubbish. That was a corner.
So, goal kick here at Swansea.
Jonathan Terrett says Gareth Bale to Manchester United ? I think we're scraping the barrel if we're talking about Bale to United.
Again. It's a rumour that always crops up though, isn't it?
To be honest with you, I actually, I know it's a bit boring, but me and Marcus have been doing this back to the Van Hal days, and there's no pressure on us. If this was Spurs, there's a lot, and this was the Spurs game, and it was like this. It's pressure. We need to win. There's no pressure on us tonight, and we can have a bit of a laugh and that while we're watching the game together. There's a couple of thousand of us watching, and we can watch United together. Or if you're not watching, we can tell you what's going on and have a little bit of a laugh and stuff. And
Swansea just had a shot there.
Yeah. Wide
outside of the box. I mean, it had Romero scrambling across his right hand side, so they still pose a threat. Come on, look at Smalling there. Look. How much more? Sorry, but how much more of his shirt does he want to hold? Any tighter, he'd be in it.
You're just a Smalling hater.
No, I'm not. I pick up on things, mate. It's just things I don't like.
Yeah, Smalling. I think Swansea's to the naked eye, Swansea's having a bad game, but actually he's probably up against Swansea's best player. Routledge is a good player, and it's a good battle between them two. I mean, I think people get lost in the fact that they think, oh, he's having a bad game because he's not dominating his opponent. But sometimes you can have a good game just because you're in a battle with somebody. And Swansea and Routledge is an interesting one. Routledge, sorry. I don't know who this lanky... Is this McTominay's brother? Who's just skinned Lindelof? It's McSomebody.
McBurney, I think it is. Yeah.
You've got McTom and McBurn. McTominay and McBurney. They look exactly the same. McBurney plays for Swansea. He's having the better game, but he is up against Lindelof. He's just skinned him again.
He's not making me feel overly confident in him, Lindelof. He's had a very poor half again.
I think the Fanta Pants, who's playing for the ginger lad who's playing for Swansea, is giving McTominay a tough game as well. Don't know who he is.
Have a look.
1 minute left, 1-0 up. To be honest, I'm happy we're 1-0 up. It's been a very equal game. But we created the best chance, bit of magic from Rashford, and Lingard should be taking that on and scoring, but you wouldn't put your mortgage on him doing it, so he did it. So well done, lads, and we're 1-0 up. I think keep your eye on it in the second half. I'd be surprised if Mourinho didn't bring some of the better players on, because here's McBurney, got his shot away, goal kick.
Well, Swansea stood him up well there. He's not dived into a tackle, which could have been the easy option.
Yeah, he did well.
But he stood him up, showed him on his weaker foot. Good sense.
Someone's giving Game of Thrones spoilers away now. I think you're probably safe with that. It was a while ago. So, half time it is, and it's 1-0 to Manchester United. Which, in the grand scheme of things, is good. I was impressed with Swansea. I think Routledge is probably Swansea's best player in this B side, and they've been at it at each other. The battle of the brothers, McBurney for Swansea, McTominay for Swansea is interesting. And Lindelof is one thing I say about Lindelof is he is consistent I've got to say that. But give us your thoughts, Marcus.
You know what? I'm more interested about the performance than the score, to be honest. Performance-wise, it's been okay. Yeah, we've had the better chance. Obviously, we scored the goal, but they are still posing a threat to us. They're coming down our right-hand side, Darmian's side, an awful lot. So they obviously spot a weak link in there somewhere. And roll on the second half. Hopefully, it gets a bit better and we attack them a bit more.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying it's been boring.
It's not been a drab, boring game, but it's not been the most exciting.
No, I mean, to be honest with you, fair play to Lingard for the goal, but I do think, again, our big problem is that ball from the back to the front is too slow.
Yeah.
You know, let's be honest, you know, Herrera's done okay. You know, he's not set the world on fire, but he's not been terrible. Lingard as a number 10, I know he scored the goal, but I tell you what, just keep watching Lingard. 90% of the time, he passes it forward or backwards. And as a number 10, you've got to be passing it forward. If you can get Lingard in them positions like the goal, he'll score goals. But I think Lingard can get in them positions on the wing. I don't like Lingard as a number 10. And not Swansea, McTominay, he's a bit like Fellaini, to be honest. You know, he's not. And that you could take that as a positive because Fellaini's been playing well. But my point is, he doesn't get the ball quick from the back to the front. And I think that's, you know, by the time Rashford and Martial get the ball, they've got 4 or 5 players back already, and we're not able to take advantage. I said it in the first 5 minutes, didn't I, Marcus, that, you know, if I was a Swansea defender, I'd be terrified of the fact that we've got 2 up front today. But we've not got the ball quick enough to them. I've seen Lindelof try long balls. Well, long balls to them's rubbish because they're not Lukaku. They're not massive people who can hold the ball up. They want quick ball along the ground, and we're not able to do that because McTominay, it's not really his game. Lingard doesn't want to pass forward. That is my observation from that half. Cobb Ross Aikens has made a contribution. He says, Martial is my favourite United player, but he's missing intensity. He trots around until ball touches his feet. If Peck or Pock had him, they would teach him to run with intensity off the ball and break the lines. Fair point, actually. Are you going to carry on, Marcus, or are you going to go and have a break?
Can I put the phone down on you for 5 minutes and then I'll phone you back?
Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
Just so I can drain the lizard and make a coffee.
All right. Too much information, but yeah, okay. Let's have a look.
See you in a minute.
No worries. Let's have a look what people are saying. A few extra people have joined us. While I just erase the image of Marcus draining the lizard, draining the maggots. You manage. He's still here, look, trying to milk off his rubbish joke. But that mistake from Lindelof is scary. The guy should be out, says Afaf. Well, you know what? In relation to Lindelof, I think we can all joke, or we can all be frustrated. But what do you do if you drop him after today? What do you do? Do you play him? Is that the end of him? Do you keep playing him? You know, this is the problem with Lindelof. It's like, I think you've got to keep trying, especially if you've just spent 30 million on him. Mourinho's not going to give up on him, so you've got to keep trying. But it's not good at the moment, I agree, but we've got to keep trying, and this is the perfect game to do it. Of course, you cannot try him against Spurs, that we will lose, but you've got to keep trying him. Swansea looks solid and class, just needs minutes and opportunities. Andrew K, I totally agree. I mean, at times, you could mistake Swansea as looking shaky. I think actually he's just up against a really good player, and probably Swansea's best player in Routledge. So that's a good, interesting battle. McTominay, he's done okay. He's not set the world on fire. He's done some good things. He's done some bad things, but I'd say he's done okay. Same for Herrera. He has shown a little bit of maturity with a young lad next to him. I think Herrera's done okay. Rashford, brilliant flick through for Lingard. Martial and Rashford, again, sort of feeding off scraps because the ball's not getting to them quick enough. Great goal by Lingard, but not enough as a number 10. I'd rather just put Lingard out on the right and get a number 10 on. I don't think Lingard offers us what we need for a number 10, which is quick movement of the ball. Smalling's done alright. Blin's done alright. I'd just say, in essence, it's an alright performance from United, but nobody's really stood out as playing that well. There's been 1 or 2 performances that have been a bit concerning, i.e. Lindelof. Baba Yaga, are we doing a watch along for Spurs match? Damn right we are, mate. We always do. Every United game we do a watch along for. So yeah, we'll definitely be doing that. It'll be 11:30 we go live with the team news on Saturday. But loads of shows before that. We're live at 8 o'clock every night. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Got a really interesting video going up for you at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Don't miss it. Or can I give you a little bit of a tease? No, I won't. Just watch it at 1 o'clock. Very interesting. Subscribe. Make sure you've got your notifications on because it's not live at 1 o'clock. It's a pre-record. So it will go up at 1 o'clock. So you'll need to have your notifications on if you want to know about it. Or just put it in your brain that you need to go on the United Stand YouTube channel at 1 o'clock. You can subscribe by hitting the United Stand logo in the bottom right hand corner of your screen or just below. Make sure you click the bell next to the subscribe button and click on all notifications to get all notifications for this channel. Cobb Ross Aidkins has made another contribution. Thank you, Cobb. He says, if Martial made more breaks, the lines, runs with intensity, you would get so many one-on-ones. And ironically, he's our best finisher. Just a manager to be teaching him that one missing thing, off the ball intensity. You said that twice, mate, and I think you're spot on. Martial is our best one-on-one finisher. And if he learned to break the lines like Thierry Henry used to, then he'd be fantastic. I tell you what, I think you're right. I think there's a number of managers out there in world football who would love Martial under their wing to teach him. Mourinho doesn't seem to be able to do that for whatever reason. Maybe he just doesn't like Martial that much. I don't know, but I think Martial's done good bits. I don't think he's had a bad performance. Swansea is class, says Scott Roberts. Africa loves Pogba, but Martial is going places, says Absalom. It's half time at the moment. Lucas Taylor thinks Spurs are going to smoke us. Look, Spurs are in very good form at the moment, but we're at Old Trafford, and I don't really care if we're in 7th, 2nd, or 1st, or 5th, or whatever. To be honest, when Spurs come to Old Trafford, United should be winning. That's my motto. I'm not going to change it. Cockney Red says Lindelof is an accident waiting to happen. Styson Furious says Lindelof will be Spurs man of the match. A lot of people talking about Lindelof tonight. I think it's patience with Lindelof. It's the perfect game for him to play. He won't play against Spurs. Phil Jones is on the bench. I think Eric Bailly will be back, and I think he would play. He would play like he did at Huddersfield. He'd play Smalling and Jones over playing Lindelof. So Lindelof won't play on Saturday. Jay Brooks Gaming says, I love this show. Well, thanks, mates. I love doing the show. You lot make the show, so keep getting involved. Swansea Beast says Fionn Curtin. Martial will go to Arsenal, mark my words, says John Elliott. I'd be stunned if that happened, to be honest, because I think Martial, whether it's at United or another club, will be one of the best players in the world, and I can't see why we'd want to sell him to Arsenal. I really can't. Stupid Troll is not a fan of Lindelof, and Lindelof is too easy to play against Nathan Simmons. Okay, a lot of people are talking about Lindelof, so it seems remiss not to just give my comments on him. There were some top Reds in August saying that Lindelof's a flop, and I suppose at the moment they're probably sat there quite satisfied eating another pie, but it's not. It's too early, and it's really naive to say that Lindelof is going to be a flop, because unless you've watched Lindelof for Sweden and Portugal, which I have for Benfica, you can understand why Mourinho bought him based on those performances. Premier League is very different. You always take a gamble. But Vidic was awful in his first 6 months at United, and Lindelof isn't doing much better at the moment. But it's way too early to say Lindelof or Linderflop or whatever people want to say. Mourinho is going to give him time. Mourinho bought him. He's Mourinho signing. He cost £30 million. Mourinho's not going to wash his hands of a player that soon. He actually said a few weeks ago, Carvalho at Chelsea, when they first got him, it was clear it was going to take him time to adjust, also from the Portuguese league. I think Lindelof can only get better, which is, not a great thing because he's doing very badly at the moment. But I do think Lindelof will turn it around. But tactically, I agree. He looks nervous. He gives the opposition too much space. He's not tight enough. He's not strong enough. When they're running him in the box, he's rash. He's lacking confidence. He doesn't look strong. He needs to man up a bit. But these are all things I think he can do. I've not given up on Lindelof. I think he'll come right. But at the moment, you cannot trust him in a game of Spurs magnitude. He's going to have to put the hard yards in. You know, the reality is we've played 3 Champions League games and we've won 3. If we beat Benfica next week, we've won 4. We'll be pretty much qualified with 2 games to go in the Champions League. That should be another 2 games for Lindelof to play. Hopefully if we win this, he can play in the next round of that. So it's all about getting him game time in games that aren't really going to cost us too much if it goes wrong, like it did at the weekend. It cost us a lot. But I'm not giving up on Lindelof. It's way too soon. And, you know, I'm fortunate enough to remember when Vidic and Evra started at United, and it wasn't much better than what Lindelof's now. So, you know, I've seen it before. It's too early to call him a flop. Herrera moves the ball too slowly. Can understand why no one picks up on that. We move, you know, I think that's a really good point. Let me read out who said that. We Stand United. Look, Herrera's not been brilliant tonight. Totally agree. But he had to play. He had to play tonight because Matic needed a rest and Fellaini and Pogba are injured. So we've got nobody else. So Herrera had to play. Herrera was our player of the year last year for me. He's nowhere near that at the moment. But Herrera's not the only problem. Manchester United's problem, and it was echoed in that half there, is that we just don't move the ball quick enough at all from back to front. You've got Rashford and Martial, who are very quick players and like to run at people, but by the time they get the ball, it's too late. And I blame the number 10 for that as well. The number 10 just wanting to pass the ball back all the time. He's got to look forward. There was opportunities in that half for Lingard to pass the ball forward and put Martial in one-on-one, and he chose to pass sideways or backwards. So, but that's not just Lindelof. That's not Lingard. That's not just Lingard. That's been Mkhitaryan. That's been Mata. That's been Martial. That's been Matic. You know, we've been doing that consistently as a team for since the international break. We're just not moving the ball forward enough. Close to 1,000 likes, says Beck. Please do drop a like. We're not that far off 144,000 subscribers. So if you are new, click that subscribe button and get involved in the United Stand. The best community in the United fan community, I think. It's a cracking place. Vladimir's made a contribution. De Gea and Vidic weren't the best at first. Yeah, De Gea's another one. Took a while to come good. We've hit 1,000 likes, which is fantastic. Should have gone all out for Perisic, says George. Can't see well. You know, I think Mourinho wanted Perisic. I think the board didn't get Perisic, and I do stand by Mourinho on that. I don't think he was totally backed in the market. Sorry, I just don't. Marcus, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, mate, you're right.
I'm not bad, yeah.
Yeah, I did catch the end of your sentence there about maggot, by the way.
Oh, you were meant to. I thought you'd already heard it.
Yeah, I did catch that. So,
you've been. I bet he's been in the joke book now, trying to think of comebacks.
No, I haven't actually. No. Oh. Got my mum to make me a coffee. So.
Lucky you.
All good, mate.
Yeah.
So what you been saying then?
I'm just trying to defend Lindelof because I know you're not going to help with that, but it's a lot of hate for Lindelof in the comments.
Yeah, and I would say after the Huddersfield performance and the first half so far, I would say the majority of it is probably justified because he's certainly not filling me with confidence. So, you know, I don't like to be harsh on players, but at the minute, if Mkhitaryan is getting slated for not being in the best reign of form, then I think Lindelof, you got to near enough say the same thing as well.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know, I'm not defending Lindelof at the moment, but I'm sort of defending his future. That it's far from over. It's far from over. I'm just going to go and get myself a little rice cake to suck on because I'm starving, but my teeth hurt. So interact with the live comments, and I'll be back in a moment. Trying to push them up to 44,000 subscribers, but they're being miserable.
So let's have a look then. Let's take some comments. Neatless. Well, this channel is all about hate, isn't it? No, it's not. It's not. It's just that I think everyone's got their opinion on players. It's just an honest and truthful opinion. And Mark says what I say and what every one of you lot say. Carl Ford, rice cake, yeah. Kieran Bryan, Marcus is smiling. Gives a shout out. There you go. Matthew McFadden, Mark is getting what? A rice cake, apparently. Edwin, that's not nice. I sound like your old granddad. I'm not that old. I'm not that old. Carl Ford, Marcus, you smell a cheese puffs. That's probably because of the South Park thing.
That's it. Yeah.
AJ, Marcus, your mum isn't as hot as Sanders' mum. I would expect you to know that, actually, to be honest.
No.
Marcus, big up for Leo getting 1,000 likes. There you go, Leo. Cheers, mate.
Missed the second half.
Yeah. But, I mean, a great man.
Talking
Just
about
want
me?
to say, no, I'm not talking about you. Yeah, a great man once said that when teams don't score, they hardly ever win, do they? And we know how true that is. So we must be careful of Swansea here getting an equaliser. Carl Lee, I'm not reading that out. Blue Master, greetings from South Africa. So, not a good start at the minute.
Down.
Martial's down.
Oh. Smacked his back.
Yeah.
Probably be a bit winded, hopefully.
Sanders' mum is 24 from Sohan King. How's that rice cake, Mark? Anyway.
Right, that's nice, yeah.
Yeah. Didn't think that would help your teeth, though.
I think I'm pumped up on painkillers at the moment, so then it's not hurting.
Oh,
so now you hit an optimum hour where you're not in pain, so I just got to eat. Salt and vinegar.
So is it your right side then?
Yeah. That one.
Yeah.
So I'm eating on that one. I need to do the timer.
Oh yeah. Maldeep Singh says, "What are you eating?"
Rice cake.
There we go. Lucas Taylor says I should be benched. Well,
You?
if enough people, yeah. If enough people want me benched, you know, get a petition going.
Could be like the X Factor, you versus Xander. Or maybe they get rid of me. Well, I'll put myself in it as well.
Marshall looks like he's all right at the minute. John Elliott, no changes at half time, mate. No. Lacking a bit of fluidity. Yeah, I'd say that. Tendai, yeah. Matthew McFadden says I need to be in the starting 11 week in, week out. Thank you. Oh, look, and AJ Nell, right? I'm going to point this out. He says my streams are better than yours.
He's drunk.
What more?
He's drunk.
What more can I say? See, look, everyone is saying it. Marcus stays. No, he's not, mate. This is true fan opinion.
I bet it's his mum. Corners to Swansea anyway.
Yeah.
Cleared by
McTominay.
I thought it was going to be Lindorf. I was going to say, there you go. Oh,
On the break. Oh, that's free kick, ref. He's hurt him there.
gone down.
That's,
No, don't cry. If McTominay's been at United since he was like 5 years old, do you think he's just one of them players? I saw these players when I used to play. He's just bigger than everybody else. So he's like,
du, 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 du. You know what I've got to say, for everyone in the comments there that's showing the love to me, alright, big up to yourselves.
all three of you.
There's more than 3, mate. There's more than 3.
And one of them's in the room with you.
That's a new one. Sandeep. I look like Paul McCartney. Oh.
You do?
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
How do they know what you look like?
Oh, because I'll do me PS4 streams, don't I?
Yeah, but only 5 people watch that. None of this lot.
No, yeah, they do actually. 14, 15.
14. You've got to start somewhere.
Well, I remember the days when you were lucky on a Sunday to start with getting 5, 10 people watching.
But you do not.
I do.
That never happened. Wake up. We always used to get about 40, to be fair, when we were starting off. I do remember it took us about 4 or 5 months to get 100 watching, though.
Oh, well, there we go. See, if you give me a little help now and again, because you don't, all right, let's make that clear, I might get somewhere, wouldn't I?
The United stand only endorses quality. I've told everybody this. People keep saying, why don't you retweet when I'm streaming?
Endorse quality. That's another one.
Anyway, we're a massive brand, United stand now. We're a massive brand. You've got to, if you want promotion off the United stand, it's going to cost you. I've got rice cakes to buy. In fact, if anyone's watching from the rice cake manufacturers that I'm eating, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Tesco. They won't give me anything. I'm happy to eat a couple every watch along. Chuck us some money. I'm only joking.
So, Rashford, free kick. No.
AJ Nell's just
punch out
admitted
the
he
goal.
made a typo. Anyway, he meant to say Mark is better than Marcus, but he got mixed up.
No, sorry, I never saw that.
No, come on, ref, get your
I
yellow
never saw
card out.
that. That's another one, ref.
McBurney. I don't think that is McBurney actually.
So I see Matter coming on here because we're the creativity, but there's no spark in here.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Or like I said, get Mkhitaryan on. Just get somebody on.
Kelvin Hunk, Linda Flop will cost you the league like you lot had a chance. Ha ha ha. Wonder what team he supports.
Spurs.
Lingard there could have put Martial through, but messed up the final ball. Arsenal still losing to Norwich.
To be honest, Arsenal would probably be quite happy to go out of the League Cup because they've got Europa League, haven't they? Lukaku's warming up.
Yeah.
Guarantee he'll take Martial off.
No, do you know what I'm going to say? He's going to take off Rashford.
Ooh, where is this been found?
That's a nasty one by the looks of it. Yeah. Oh, Swansea, they're being a bit cynical now, haven't they?
Well, they can get back into this game. I mean, United haven't really... It's been quite an equal game, hasn't it? So they'll feel that 1-0 is a bit of injustice to them, really. Plus, let's not forget, Swansea, it's their B side as well, so they've got a team full of players who want to impress.
Well, so far, I mean, apart from Routledge, for Swansea, I've not seen anything, really. I don't think that McBurney, as their centre forward, has done an awful lot.
No.
If anything, he's caused us a problem trying to, find out which one's who with him and McTominay.
J Dub says, I've just got back from work. Did you miss anything? We haven't missed anything. You obviously have.
So a free kick to United here in our half. Smalling dilly-dallying on the ball as normal. Gives it back to Romero.
This is Mourinho's dream result anyway, isn't it? 1-0.
Yeah, it's become a bit of pattern, isn't it? I mean, where's the 4-0's gone? It's... We started off season so well.
You've got to start putting some players in the book,
Oh,
though.
wait, Rashford again. Same leg.
Cluckass, or Fanta Pants as I call him. That must have been what I was on about in the first half. Oh, it's just blatant. Give me a
It
call.
is again, isn't it? Look, that's his right leg
Yeah,
again.
he has booked him, to be fair. Cluckass, he should say... oh no, it wouldn't work. I was going to say suckass. It wouldn't work. Couldn't think it through. Glenn Ryan, you didn't get banned because I can see a comment of yours.
Yeah. Chad Sproul, that was many years ago. About 6 years ago.
Smith cheats. Oh, come on. Darmian's on the overlap there. Good ball by Lindelof. Into Lingard.
He'll lose it though.
We did.
There we go. Indy Tagger.
Good now. He's made 2 good passes. I think the problem with United is that we're very easy, like Tom Ince said at the weekend, to play against. When we get the ball, we move it so slow that teams just get back into position really quick.
Yeah, and to be honest, the way we're moving the ball, there's no urgency in the way we're going forward. So they've got plenty of time to get back into position to mark them out of the game.
I think ball goes back to Romero must be trending on Twitter.
Oh, that's funny because there's been a couple of hashtags in the comments here saying "mark out, mark us in."
I haven't read any of them.
No, oh. You always miss the good stuff, didn't you?
I've just put a good tweet out. Oh, good cross.
Unlucky, Martial nearly on the end of it. There it is again, look.
What?
HDX. I knew I saw it before.
Don't bite the hand that feeds you. That's saying that's what a wise man once said to me. A great man said that once.
Matthew McFadden, Goldbridge out, just like his FIFA career. How is that going anyway, your FIFA
Really
thing?
good. Really good.
Still got the United job, have you?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll tell you what, I'll batter you on FIFA anytime you want.
Oh.
I bet you've not even got FIFA 18, have you?
I have got it, yeah. Yeah. But I can tell you now, come next week, I won't touch it.
Why, what's coming out?
It's Call of Duty next Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Does it come out at some silly time or is it out in the day?
Yeah, it's out at a silly time. 1 second past 12 Thursday night, Friday morning.
Do you need a gun for that, or is it best to have a controller?
You can't use a gun for it. Controller.
Well, when I remember I used to play it on my... Oh, good goal, Lingard again.
Oh, yes.
Double.
There we go. Mr. Wembley does it again.
Oh, look, what's this stupid?
Another Pied Piper celebration.
It's a good cross from Darmian.
don't often see that when Darmian plays. Oh, he's in acres of space over on the right-hand side there. I'll tell you what, that's some header in the lad.
Yeah.
He's quite a way out.
Yeah, that was a beauty. A beautiful goal.
Here's another quote for you. Almost unstoppable shot, but the goalie has got to do better.
What on that?
Oh, it's my classic Michael Owen quotes, mate.
All right. 2-0.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's probably game over now.
Yep.
Mourinho will be very happy because he loves the League Cup.
Oh, you should have been happy about that goal as well, wouldn't it? Natural cross.
Yeah. I'm in shock, to be honest, because you don't normally expect Darmian to put a decent cross in and Jesse Lingard to head it home. It's a real collector's item, that. Look, I'm never dishonest, and I'm going to be totally honest with you and say I am not going to get massively excited about this, because I'd rather lose 4-0 tonight and beat Spurs at the weekend. I don't know what everybody else thinks about that, but I would. It's all about Saturday.
Lukaku's definitely coming on.
And I'm not too sure that tonight's performance will have a direct impact on what we do on Sunday, because we already know a lot of these players won't play, and I also don't think we'll play this formation. But it'd be nice to see Lingard get a hat-trick.
It would be, yeah. Martial's got it here, running at the defence again.
Guarantee it'll be Martial who comes off as well. He wants to prove a point.
No, you know what? Rashford, he's not moving freely, He really isn't.
I hope Martial does stay on. He's not had a particularly amazing game. He's been okay. True with Martial, though, if he doesn't score 2 goals and get an assist, everyone says he's crap. People just need to... we're talking about FIFA. They need to get into the real world a little bit. Martial's not been bad tonight. He's been okay. But just because he hasn't scored a goal, everyone's like, oh, he's crap. It's, get real. This is real life, Players can't do that every single game. They'll have okay games. They'll have brilliant games. I mean, Lingard will probably get man of the match, deservedly, for 2 good goals. But actually, take the goals away, a pretty okay performance. Nothing special. But goals win prizes. Goals win games. And, fair play to the lad. He's took the chances. Makes it interesting. I mean, he might have a shout to start against Spurs at number 10. Mkhitaryan's not been playing well. He never plays Mata. Brilliant defending by Swansea again.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I know we've still got half an hour to go, but if you're asking me who's man of the match, I'd give it to Swansea at the moment. But that's because I understand football and know that, he's playing against Swansea's best player, and he's dominating him now. First half, it was a really good battle, but he's dominating him now. Matic coming on as well. Ooh. Maybe he's going to give Herrera a bit of a rest.
I was just going to say, this is going to be an interesting one with Matic, because do you take the kid off, or do you take Herrera off?
I think you take Herrera off and keep...
I think so as well. Yeah. I think you need that experienced player in the middle there when you've got a young lad next to you. It would be absolutely pointless playing Matic and Herrera together.
Hey, Lingard! Oh, he had his easiest chance of the game to get the hat-trick, and he still kept it in play, though. That was probably Lingard's best chance, sort of a one-on-one from an angle. Probably never score a hat-trick for United in his life. Tonight.
Fionn Curtin says Twanzebe is overpowered. He's quite strong, isn't he? I mean, he's not a bulky lad, Twanzebe.
I can't remember how old he is now. I think he's like 19 or 20. I'll tell you what, I'll find out exactly. I haven't got his birth certificate with me.
Fosu Mensah's got the build of a tank, isn't he? But Twanzebe, he's quite a skinny lad. He's not a bulky guy.
He's not 20 till next month.
He's got some power in him.
Yeah. Fosu Mensah's bloody huge. If you see Fosu Mensah next to Eric Bailly, then you really understand the absolute monstrosity of a beast that Fosu Mensah is. I mean, and for a young lad as well. Oh, ref!
Yeah. Oh, look, he's he's played on.
I think Rashford needs to come off. He's definitely,
He's carrying something.
yeah.
Hopefully it ain't catching.
Marcus, you sound like Dr. Hibbert, says Alex.
I've been ignoring that one for about 5 minutes.
I won't if it's somebody slagging you off. Beck Howe says she actually rates Twansebe. I can't believe anybody doesn't. It's people saying he's no good. He's brilliant. I love Twansebe. I can't understand why he's not played more this season.
Oh, look, Rob Barker's got a good one here. Look. Made me laugh when Mark said, do you use a gun when you play Call of Duty?
Made me laugh.
Whoa, what? I've played loads of bloody Call of Duties with a gun.
No. Never?
You do. On the Wii, you used to have your little direction thing and you'd hold the gun like that.
Do you class the Wii as a console then, do you?
That was the last World War II game I ever played on Call of Duty. Granted, it was probably a decade ago, but it was still Call of Duty. It was bloody good. I loved it, World War II. So why is everyone so good on... What's the trick to being good in Call of Duty then? Because last time I played it, it was really annoying. You've got people hopping around all over the place, accurately hitting you in the air. How are they doing that? What's the trick?
Well, the trick is, I suppose, difference in controllers. But who's coming off here? Hang on, look,
Yeah,
Rashford's
Rashford.
coming off. Yeah. Lukaku for Rashford. Let's see who Matic is coming on for.
Hopefully Lukaku can get a goal.
Yeah.
Herrera. Yeah.
Herrera. There we go.
He was playing at the weekend, didn't he?
So yeah, what was you talking about? Oh yeah, cold, wasn't it? Yeah. No, you don't. It's just knowing the maps and knowing the opposition. This one, there's no jetpacking, there's no jumping around. It's World War II, and basically that's it. Bunkers. What would you call them? Spy planes. You know, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, I loved all that before.
Yeah, I'll make you good, mate. Don't worry. I've got your back.
I was playing that Battlefront on demo the other day, the Star Wars one, and I just, people are running around doing this, that, and the other. And I'm like, look, just let me have a little play and getting shot up all the time. Once enjoyable. Matthew McFadden says maybe Mark is bad at Call of Duty because he grabs an AK and shoots his TV up.
Luciano
so Winston's not happy
Pillay.
that he's making substitutions. I personally think it's a good idea. Lukaku, I think if Lukaku could get a goal tonight, that would be a real bonus to give him a bit of confidence for Spurs because he hasn't scored for a while, has he?
Jack APHD has just said, would you bring Luke Shaw on for Blind or maybe Lindelof?
I can't. You know what? I'd totally forgotten about that. I cannot believe he hasn't brought Luke Shaw on.
Yeah.
And we are 70 minutes in.
So, says a lot about what he thinks, doesn't he?
Yeah. It does.
George wants me to hit you with some friendly fire on Call of Duty. No worries. No worries.
Can you do that?
If you play hardcore mode, yeah.
No.
One shot, one kill.
Just taking some notes from a match reaction. Sack Marcus.
me and Ross will look after you, don't worry.
Yeah, unfortunately, I probably won't be playing at 2 a.m.
Well, I'll probably be on it most of the night and then take the kids to school.
See, I think my gaming time, based on my life, is probably 11 o'clock at night. That's my prime hour.
No, the problem with you is, and the problem with a lot of people is, you just stick to playing one game.
Oh, Twansebe, a really good
what a
chance.
miss.
I think he might have injured
What a
him.
miss.
It was a header from. To be honest, it would have been a great goal because it was McTominay who gets up for the corner. This is why Mourinho likes McTominay. He's up, he's tall. I think it was actually Smalling, and keeper saves it. And Swansea from 6 yards out with the follow up, just over the bar. It's a shout. I'd love it. I'd love him to have scored that. Chris Andrews says McTominay is a fraud. Discuss.
I'd say he's done okay. Nothing outstanding.
No, to be honest, I think I said it a few months ago. I said it in the summer tour. I think McTominay will end up being a Championship player. I don't even think he'll be a Premier League player. But fair play to the lad tonight. He's done okay against Swansea B team. He's actually coming into the game more and more now. He's obviously feeling a bit of confidence that he's been kept on.
Yeah, fair play to Jose for putting his trust in him to keep him on. Yeah, the easiest thing for him to have done would have been take him off and put Matic on, but he hasn't. Obviously he took Herrera off for Matic. Rashford, I think, and I think you do as well, was carrying a knock. He didn't look right, so he's done the right choice there. And I suppose really to cap it all for me would be to see what happens if Luke Shaw manages to get on, but I don't think he will.
No. I think that's surely the end, because if you're not getting game time in a League Cup game against Swansea B team, that's it.
Yeah. Oh, someone's just said there. Where was it? T-Dog MN Lindelof improving. Well,
yeah.
He's got better as the game's gone on, but when you're 2-0, up, it's the confidence throughout the team, doesn't it? It flows throughout.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he has made errors in the first half.
Apparently, Palace are a joke, so I presume they're losing. Let's have a look.
Norwich are still winning.
At the Etihad. Oh, sorry, the Emirates. Yeah, Crystal Palace are losing 4-1, and Fosu Mensah started as a right back.
So, do you know what? I think now, if he's not going to play in the Premier League, if I was Jose, I would bring him back in January.
Yeah.
I would leave, do you know what? This might be a bit controversial, but I would leave Pereira out in Valencia, because if he's not got the courage or the guts to fight for his place, then he can stay out there and be a bench player for Valencia. I'd leave him there just as a punishment.
Well, he wants to stay there anyway.
Yeah, well,
he's publicly said it.
Let him have him then.
He said, I don't want to come back in January. It'd be difficult. And he said, I can see myself staying here for 2 years.
Oh. Well, if I was Josie, I'd say, well, I'll do you one better. You can stay there permanent.
It's a shame. I think he's a good player, but I don't.
It is, but it's the attitude of him, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I would have loved him to stay and fight for his place, and for all we know, well, he would have been in this team tonight. He would have been.
Oh yeah, definitely would have been. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he's dropped himself right in it there by not willing to fight for his shirt, fight for his place. Iris Cack, what's your channel? Just click on my picture. I'll put a comment in for you. Seeing as Mark don't promote me, I'll have to promote myself. Promotes everyone else.
Who?
Oh, you always say, that has a 90 in it. At Sander-Seegers.
Yeah.
I don't ever do Xander. Xander's
never
got his
do
own
it.
channel anyway. That's football. I've given him a platform, haven't I?
Yeah, well, I don't see you giving your longest servant a channel or even a show once a week.
Silly.
Oh, good save by Romero.
Yeah.
Saved me.
What a save.
Oh. His hair in out of place when he saved that. Oh no.
So corner coming, headed out by Swansea.
Free kick.
Oh,
I think he might get a yellow card for that. Yeah.
no, I think he'll get away with it. Oh, yeah, unlucky. First mistake he's done all night, I think.
Yeah, he's been good.
Well, thanks to everyone who watches my streams. Look, all the love for me now. See, I told you, Mark.
I haven't seen any of it. I think you're making it up.
Oh. Oh, here we go. Look, the ginger's taking it. What was his name?
Suck cock or something? No. something. I can't remember what it was.
You say that and you moan at me for saying lizard.
Suckross or something. Or cookross or something. I don't know. People will tell us in the live comments.
Straight at Romero. But, do you know what, mate? That guy Romero, his hair never seems to move, does it? He's got so much gel on it, or Brill cream, whatever. It's similar to yours, actually. Never a hair out of place.
I'm bringing the comb over back.
Shaka Phillips. Wow, I missed that then, Shaka. Say it again. I saw something about Zlatan and Star Wars then.
Oh, he'll say it again, don't worry. If one thing Shaka's very consistent about is repeating the same comment. We'll be there for the next hour.
Oh, Smalling was lucky there. Sports HQ, this show is fun. Oh, good. I'm glad you like it.
I'll tell you what, we've been doing watch-alongs for a long time, and if you join the United Stand and get involved, and please do subscribe and join the community, but you'll find one thing: the crap United games turn out to be the best watch-alongs because we're not watching the football that much, and we're just having a laugh. So that's the way it works.
Right, when do you think Zlatan will be back? December. Also, did you get my tweet about Star Wars? Yes, I did, Shaka. I did reply to you about Star Wars, and yeah, I think I actually think Zlatan will probably be back for the City game in December.
I'm just laughing at my tagline for the thumbnail. Lingard kills Swans.
You get a message from the Queen about that.
I know. Oh no, I want to keep that.
So, coming up to 78 minutes. Game's done. Still no sign of Luke Shaw.
No, yeah, really surprised by that. But I even tweeted it out. I said I think that's probably, if you can't get game time in a League Cup game against Swansea B, what other game are we going to have that's going to be this easy this season? We're not. I think that's probably the end of Luke Shaw. Because when else can he play his way into the team? When else is he going to get trusted to be given that opportunity? You know, if Mourinho needs a left back, he's got Ashley Young. He can play Darmian there. Obviously Blind. So it's a shame. I think he would have been perfect for it, but
Don't forget Rojo's due back as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, as they say, I think it's curtains for Luke Shaw, I'm afraid. Which I think a lot of us know as well. When you got an injury like that, you never come back the same player. So maybe it is in his best interest to move on.
I think it'll be a mistake though. By Mourinho, I do think he'll be end up being a good player elsewhere though. But
I think after your assessment during the summer about Matic being a bad signing, I don't think anyone will listen to you there, mate.
That's not what I said. Look, what? Look, the reality is, it's not my fault that only 10 people watch your live streams and 2,000 people watch the
You
United
bite
stuff.
so easily. You really do.
Stop trying to make yourself popular.
I've got to agree with you though. When the games are boring, these are the best shows. We just wind each other up.
Yeah, United are going to win this game. Swansea just not going to get back into it. I'm afraid. Well, I'm not afraid. I'm happy. Although Swansea beat. Oh, he's offside anyway. Marking his man well. It's very hard to, people might say it's a good thing. It's very hard to find decent pictures of Jesse Lingard. I'm just trying to do the thumbnail while we're winding down.
Oh, look at that comment from Matthew McFadden. That's a brilliant one. Let me get that one back. Where is it? Come on. Oh no. Right, Matthew McFadden says to you, Mark, 10 hardcore fans are better than 140,000 sheep.
Block Matthew McFadden.
Such a good comment.
Technically, you can't block him because he's not done nothing wrong.
Block who you like on here. United with a good cross. McTominay. Go on, whip it in. Darmian. Oh, refused. Lingard. Oh, straight at the keeper. He's looking for that hat trick.
Yeah, he's looking for it. Again, the intent is there again. That's more goals and more confidence. It's a shame Lukaku hasn't managed to get on the end of anything yet.
No, it's again, it's fair play to Lingard. He scored a couple of goals, but it would be very naive of us to say it's been a good attacking performance because we've not linked the attack very. I think it's been a bit of a graveyard shift for Martial and Rashford and Lukaku. They've had very little in relation to chances, and that is a legacy of the last two games.
Yep.
We're not creating much anymore, which is surprising because we were.
Well, I think that's probably almost certainly down to the dip in form of Mkhitaryan.
Yeah.
First few games, he was, what's that word you use? Stat padding, is it?
Yeah, he was getting a lot of goals and a lot of assists, wasn't he?
Yeah, and now he's just gone to pot.
Let's have a look what's going on. Live comments.
Well, you don't want to read the comments, mate. It's all about me.
Well, thanks everybody who's new, who subscribed tonight. Well, fair play to you. It's normally better than this, but we're scraping the barrel with Marcus tonight, so my toothache has sort of kept me quieter than normal. But no, seriously though, welcome to the channel. It's a fantastic community, and we've got daily content. Normally live every night at 8 o'clock. Romero catches the ball. That's good. That's big for him. Normally can't catch a balloon, but yeah, look, it'd be nice to get a clean sheet.
So it looks like Martial's going to get the full 90 minutes as well.
Yeah, well, it probably means he's not going to start at the weekend. That's the only thing. Although it's only Tuesday.
Yeah, I suppose that's the plus for it, isn't it?
Spurs are playing tomorrow night, so they'll probably put their reserves out as well.
Joe, I'm not too sure about that. This competition could be a good chance for silverware for them. I mean, I know it's early days in the league, but what they same position as us, are they?
Yeah, exactly the same points now.
Well, Jose looks pretty satisfied on the bench. He's going to change something. Someone's coming on there. Blonde hair, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, Luke Shaw's coming on. 5 minutes.
Oh, good. Oh, I'm pleased.
At least something's happened positive for him.
The CARABAO Cup. Don't they do the draw at something like 3 o'clock in the morning because it's a Chinese company or something?
Yeah, something like that, isn't it?
Come on, get rid of the ball, Darmian.
No, he'll take the foul. That'll do.
What did you do? What did you do? Yeah, legs.
I agree with that, Darth Vader. What's the point? 5 minutes for sure, yeah. I think that just goes to show now that that's exactly what he thinks of Luke Shaw. Last 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's nothing.
No, not even worth it.
I'd say shove it, Jose. I ain't going on for that. It's embarrassing. I think Martial's coming off.
Joe, I didn't even think Jose had a chat with him before he's come on. I think it's the assistant that's had the words with him.
Yeah, probably.
Max Crow, who's the woman in the background? That's my mum. Taboo Ballora selling Josh Harrop showed that Mourinho isn't interested in upcoming youngsters. Mr. Zaki boy, who do you want to face in the next round? Any preference, Mark?
I hope we get City, you know, because I don't really want to win the league. I don't. We won it last year. Mourinho puts way too much emphasis on it, and I think he seriously wants to win it. So I don't actually want us to get an easy draw. I want us to get a tough draw. Ooh, Matic! I thought he was going to get his first there. Good volley. About you?
Joe, I'd like one of the big teams, yeah, because I would like to see how serious Mourinho would treat this then. I mean, yeah, we got some decent players out there, but as I said earlier, the majority of them are bench players that started the game anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if we got, well, I'll say one of the big boys, you know, top 4 team, top 6 team.
I'll tell you what, it's I'll let you do it. Who's been your man of the match? Because I'll do mine on the match reaction. I've already made my mind up.
Yeah, right. I'm going to say normally I have a choice of 2 or 3, but I've only got one here, and I think it's Swansea.
Interesting.
Not
Jesse Lingard?
No, not for me. I know he scored the 2 goals, but I just think Swansea being in the CDM position and playing as a centre-back when we've not got the ball, he's not put a foot wrong, apart from that tackle. I mean, he's here tackling. Well, he's up against someone there.
That's Tammy Abraham. That's Swansea's best striker.
Oh, there we go. He's got it out for a throw. A tackle in the first half in the area.
Yeah.
Could have quite easily dived in, but he didn't. He stood him up, showed him on his weak foot. So, yeah, I think providing he don't get sent off in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think, yeah, it's a good shout.
I've got to say as well, I think we don't see much of Romero at the minute, and I think with what he's had to do tonight, he's done all right. You know, they've had a couple of shots on target. He's got them away, put them out for a corner or whatever.
He's no De Gea.
No, he's no De Gea, but as a backup, at least he's shown he can be relied upon.
I think Swansea were better in the first half, to be honest.
I think they were. Yeah, they had a bit more of the ball in the first half. Good stat there from Jose. Favourite UK away grounds, Liberty Stadium. 4 games, 100%.
Well, we've already beaten here, haven't we, this season? We won 4-0.
Yeah.
Well, we're nearly into the 90th minute. I know I've been quiet for the last 10 minutes, but I've been setting up the match reaction stream and resting my gob. So, in all seriousness, thanks to everybody who's joined in tonight, and thanks to Marcus for, helping out. Because my tooth has been bad, so I've had to, the big game for me is the weekend, and it would have been catastrophic for us if I'd overexerted myself tonight and put myself out of the game at the weekend. So, really grateful for that. And I just want to double check as well, because we've got 3 minutes stoppage time. We are going to win this game, but this might be 1 or 2 super chats I've missed that I don't want to miss. So let's have a look what people have been saying. Jens Borville says, workmanlike performance from Martial today. Yeah, I don't think he was terrible at all. People will say Martial was terrible today because he didn't score a goal. He actually did okay. He didn't do anything brilliant, but he didn't do anything bad. It was an okay performance. I think we've covered everything else.
Yeah.
Great.
But yeah, I agree with that super chat. I think it's been a workmanlike performance all around. They come here, we're away from home, done what we needed to do, get the result, job done.
Yeah.
All eyes on Saturday.
And I'm predicting that United are going to beat Spurs on the weekend. And not only that, hopefully on Sunday, let me just have a quick look. On Saturday, for the Spurs game, we should go past 144,000 subscribers, because we're on 143,783, which would be nice.
Well,
so Marcus has given his man of the match to Axel Twansebe. I can tell you now mine's different. I've just been taking a few notes for my match reaction, which will follow this game. So please do join me for that. I've already put the link in the video description and called it Manchester United 2, Swansea 0, because I'll be stunned if they get a goal. They just had a shot wide there. Will be a corner. Al Phenomenon with the comment of the night. He says, "We love you, Mark." I knew
someone's got it.
He doesn't like it.
I was just going to say, mate, if you want to get to 144,000, the easiest way to do it would...
What a save by Romero.
Good save from Romero.
Maybe he should be man of the match. What a save. Flick on at the front post, 2 yards out. Romero shot it. He should have scored, but Romero's got to make it save. AJ Nell thinks my man of the match is Smalling. Oh, don't ruin it for everybody. It's not Smalling.
Don't.
It might be Smalling.
That.
Well, I think Romero deserves his clean sheet there, which he's got.
Fantastic.
Thanks to Marcus, and shout out to your mum as well. Really enjoyed the show. It's been a good laugh tonight.
Yeah, pleasure as always, and have a good week, and I'll see you lot Saturday.
Yeah, all right. I'll speak to you later, pal. Cheers, again. Ta-da. Marcus has already got a channel. It's I forgot the name of it. I should have asked him. Somebody will put it in the live comments, because they'll be one of the 15 people who watch it. It's Marcus Mad something, isn't it? I forget. Anyway, he's in the comments. He'll tell you what his channel is. Do go and subscribe to it. Seriously, it's a good laugh. He just does streams and stuff. But I'm going to do my match reaction Marcus gave Swansea man of the match. I'm doing my match reaction now. 60 seconds time. The link is in the video description. It will say Swansea versus Manchester United match reaction stream. Click the link next to that where it says YouTube. The live comments is open and I'll be there in 60 seconds for you. And or you can go through to the homepage and you'll see it. It's the picture with Lingard. Lingard sinks swans, I think I've called it. I was going to call it Lingard kills swans, but I didn't want any complaints from the RSPCA. Thanks everybody. Mad. Thanks everybody. I'll see you on the live match reaction in about 60 seconds. Thanks for watching tonight.